Chapter 747. Killing people is still the best. Atop a tall mountain, Lin Fei was sorting out the loot he had obtained this time, setting aside the experience points he had gained. Just the immortal stones he had obtained amounted to 30 million low-grade immortal stones. Others might be shocked by such a humongous figure. However, in Lin Fei's opinion, these fellas were just paupers. After killing more than 1,000 heavenly immortals, 20 million low-grade immortal stones was nothing at all. Other than that, there were some celestial techniques that were useless to Lin Fei. He didn't need to learn them. It would be useless to learn too much. Recycle all of them in exchange for a large number of points. 30 million low-grade celestial stones and 10,000 mid-grade celestial stones. That should be enough. Lin Fei put away the items. Oh, right, there are still these materials. I wonder if they are useful to me? After putting away the useful things, there were still a lot of materials of all shapes and sizes. For Lin Fei, who didn't forge weapons, they were really useless. Ding! Testing in progress. After the system update, there were many new functions, and the testing system was one of them. This system could save Lin Fei a lot of trouble. Ding! Discovered top-grade material, starstone material for the second transformation of the God-fiend body. Lin Fei was very surprised. He had planned to check on the God-fiend body later. He didn't expect it to appear so soon. Top-grade material starstone? According to the system's classification, Lin Fei quickly found the top-grade material and placed it on his palm. It was a blue stone with a warm aura, the size of a fingernail. If not for the system's notification, Lin Fei wouldn't have known that it was there. Lin Fei immediately went to check on the God-fiend body. After the system rated it as the first transformation, Lin Fei remembered it clearly. The 9th transformation was something he shouldn't have, especially when he was fighting against mystic immortals tonight. Even though they were all at the early stage mystic immortal stage, their celestial force was thick and their celestial weapons were very powerful. The power of the spear was enough to kill a few celestial immortals. So the God-fiend body has a total of 9 transformations. Each transformation requires all kinds of materials and pills to continuously improve the body until the 9th transformation, the true God-fiend body. Lin Fei didn't dare to imagine. The first transformation of the God-fiend body could fight against an early-stage mystic immortal. What would happen after the God-fiend body reached the 9th transformation? At that time, even immortal emperors would be left in the dust. To advance from the first transformation of the God-fiend body to the second transformation, I need 5 kilograms of starstone and 50 kilograms of heavenstone. Lin Fei was speechless when he saw the list of items required for his advancement. 5 gene of starstone. Such a small piece could already be seen as precious. 10 gene of starstone? Lin Fei didn't even know what it was. This was the item required for him to advance to the second job transition. What about the rest? I still need a long time to advance from the heavenly immortal realm to the mystic immortal realm. The only thing that can increase my strength should be the God-fiend body. Lin Fei thought. The next task is to find the materials needed for the God-fiend body. I still need a long time to advance from the heavenly immortal realm to the mystic immortal realm. The only thing that can increase my strength should be the God-fiend body. Lin Fei thought. The next task is to find the materials needed for the God-fiend body. The first transformation of the God-fiend body was already so awesome. Then the second transformation should be even more terrifying. If he encountered a divine, great immortal artifact, he would be able to resist it. Ding! The system has detected that a genius treasure has appeared nearby. Lin Fei was still searching for resources when the system sent a notification. A genius treasure? As mentioned before, after the system update, there was an additional function. When Lin Fei started, the system automatically searched for it. I have to go take a look. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. He had heard that the heaven realm's heavenly treasures were the real heavenly treasures. Every one of them had divine effects. Now that he had come across one, it would be a pity if he didn't take a look. Search the general location. In the lower realm, this system couldn't be activated. With the system's guidance, Lin Fei was like a fish in water. Even though he hadn't seen the treasure yet, he already treated it as his own. It's quiet inside. Is it over? The people outside the mountain range were all paying attention to the situation inside. After a long time, there was still no movement. This situation lasted until dawn. Who wants to go in and take a look? There were already people who were prepared to go in and take a look. There had been no movement for a long time, and it made their hearts itch. They wanted to see what exactly was going on, and whether the great purgatory sect had really suffered a loss. We have to go in and take a look. There were many people gathered outside. Coupled with the news from last night, many forces had sent spies over. Their goal was simple, to observe the whole process. Charge in. The purgatory sect disciples at the entrance of the mountain range were also restless. Coupled with the people outside rushing in, they didn't dare to stop them and let them out. Look, there are traces of battle here. Here, too. These people formed groups and searched everywhere. Soon, they saw traces of battle everywhere. What a terrifying sword chi. It's still lingering even now. A powerful sword expert. Every time they looked, they would be shocked. They were truly stunned by the opponent's sword skills. The remnant sword chi intertwined like a natural barrier that couldn't be crossed. Everyone, come quickly. After an unknown period of time, urgent voices echoed in the sky. When they arrived and saw the scene in front of them, they all sucked in a breath. Not far from them, there was a small forest, but now it didn't look like a forest anymore. What replaced it was a mountain of corpses, as well as the heads of those who died unwillingly. Isn't that the leader, Elder Aotian? Suddenly, someone pointed at the head at the top of the corpses. His expression was filled with unwillingness. That's Elder Poisonous Dragon. Such a mountain of corpses hadn't appeared in many years. More importantly, this was a disciple of Purgatory sect. Look, there's another sentence here. Beside the mountain of corpses, there were a few words left on a huge tree trunk. Revenge has just begun. These few simple words caused everyone's hearts to tremble. Who dared to take revenge against the Purgatory sect? Just who was this tyrannical? Not only did he kill people, he even piled up the corpses into a mountain. Get out! A loud rumbling sound descended from the sky like muffled thunder. The spectating immortals were all blasted away, coughing up blood. Not a single person was left standing. All of them were sent flying. If it weren't for the fact that the one who attacked had restrained himself, all of the spectators would have been killed. Golden Immortal. Chapter 748. Run. The expert from Purgatory sect is here. The people who had been sent flying weren't too badly injured and didn't affect their ability to leave. They crawled up from the ground in a panic as if they had seen a demon king and left in a hurry. Or rather, they ran in a panic. The person who had attacked them just now was a golden immortal expert. Each of them was an expert and had a certain amount of power in their sect. They hadn't expected that a small matter would attract the attention of a golden immortal expert from Purgatory sect. After a while, there was no one left except for the people from Purgatory sect. Those people had all run away. They were running as far as they could. They didn't even think about it. They couldn't wait to watch the show. It was normal for them to end up like this. How dare you kill people from Purgatory sect? The person who had come was dressed in a brocade robe. He wasn't old and just standing there seemed to cause the world to revolve around him. A terrifying aura flowed around his body and no one dared to get close. Rumble, the surroundings exploded and the ground sank. It wasn't hard to tell that this expert from Purgatory sect was furious. What had happened in Immortal Wild Mountain Range couldn't be hidden. Those people ran back from the mountain range and immediately reported the news to the various factions. Thousands of heaven immortals from Purgatory sect. All of them, including the outer sect elders, were killed. They couldn't believe this news, since when had someone dared to attack Purgatory sect? Very few people in the northern region dared to do so. Heaven immortal? What kind of joke was this? The first was an accident, but the second was a complete shock. All the major forces were dumbfounded. They thought that it was a powerful expert who could kill so many heaven immortals. That was understandable. But now it was a heaven immortal kid who appeared out of nowhere. Was this a joke? If they hadn't seen the strength of Purgatory sect's heaven immortals, they would have thought that they were a bunch of trash. Before the various factions could digest the news, another piece of news came. A golden immortal expert from Purgatory sect had come down. Everyone was shocked. Purgatory sect had even sent a golden immortal expert. What had this heaven immortal kid done to deserve such anger from Purgatory sect? Then a golden immortal expert personally took charge and withdrew a supreme immortal artifact to chase after the heavenly immortal kid. Everywhere he went, he killed the people in the mountain range. It was a cruel and bloody scene. He wanted to find the other party and wouldn't give up. Suddenly, the immortal wilderness mountain range became the focus of attention. Many people were trying to find out who the heaven immortal kid was and why he was worth the experts of the Purgatory sect. Some people said that he was a powerful swordsman with superb sword skills. There were others who said that this person had an exceptional immortal artifact on him and was targeted by the Purgatory sect. All kinds of gossip kept spreading. No one knew which one was real and which one was fake. Nonsense. They are all talking nonsense. In a courtyard, Shui Shan's face was filled with shock. No matter how he thought about it, he didn't expect Brother Lin to be so *King awesome to be able to kill so many people in one move. When he found out about the gossip that was spreading outside, he demoted them to the point where they had nothing to do. If they wanted to know the situation, then it must be them. Xiao Shan, don't ever say such things outside. Ching Fei knew that Lin Fei wasn't simple, but he didn't expect him to do such a big thing. A heaven immortal killed thousands of heaven immortals and Xian immortal experts. Shui Shan nodded. I know, but what about them? Cheng Fei smiled. It's fine. When the time comes, I will bring you guys out to complete the mission. Out of sight, out of mind. This isn't something we can meddle in. Cheng Fei couldn't stay calm when he saw Lin Fei do such a big thing. He was actually very impressed. From the first time he saw him, he knew that he was extraordinary. How many people could face the Purgatory sect alone? For safety's sake, it was better to complete the mission outside so that he wouldn't get involved. The Purgatory sect was one of the top immortal sects in the North region. That sentence of revenge has just begun made everyone know that the Purgatory sect had done something stupid. If they didn't kill him, there would be a good show. In the continuous mountain range, the dragon horse was like the wind, flying across the sky quickly. They dodged all of the giant existences that occupied the place. This was the depths of the mountain range. It wasn't the immortal wilderness mountain range anymore, but another mountain range that was many times larger than the immortal wilderness mountain range. Countless powerful existences lived here. There are even some ancient existences. They rarely showed themselves, but once they did, they were all powerful existences. Even immortals had to avoid them. Therefore, the deeper the mountain range was, the less people dared to enter. Once a powerful existence died in the mountain range, it was a common occurrence. But now, the people on the dragon horse could avoid the powerful existences and go deeper. If people saw them, they would definitely be shocked. This group of people moved very quickly, especially the flood dragon horses, which were top-notch mounts for speed. Master, there's a valley in front of the mountain. The treasure is in the valley. Wan Shan, immortal, pointed to a place ahead. Master, there's a valley in front of the mountain. The treasure is in the valley. Wan Shan, if we can get the treasure this time, I will bring you with me to Shengtian Academy." Ing Tianhen smiled, his face full of pride. Wan Shan was so excited that he almost knelt down. "Thank you, Master!" Shengtian Academy was the most influential existence in the North region. Countless people wanted to be a member. After becoming a member, they could do whatever they wanted in the North region. Even though Wan Shan had established an adventure group, it was actually nothing much. However, if he could become a study attendant of the Holy Heaven Academy, his status would be different. If he was lucky and learned a profound immortal art, he could graduate from being a study attendant and become an outer court disciple. At that time, even a city lord would have to treat him with respect. "As long as you work for me sincerely, you will be rewarded." Ing Tianhen was in high spirits. Becoming a disciple of Shengtian Academy was something to be proud of. F***CK. Why are there so many powerful existences in this mountain range? Each one is more shocking than the last. This is a scam. It's all the dam system's fault. In the mountain range, Lin Fei hid in the divine fire space. He followed the system's guidance and went straight to the place where the treasure was. In the beginning, Lin Fei did not doubt the system's guidance, but after entering another mountain range, he ran into big trouble. During this period, immortal beasts kept coming out. At first, he thought it was normal, but as they got stronger and stronger, Lin Fei did not dare to make a move. The immortal beasts were too strong. Even his first transformation, God-fiend body, was defeated. If he did not run fast enough, who knew what would have happened? From that moment on, Lin Fei remembered to never take the system's guidance seriously. Otherwise, he would be the one to suffer. Hence the scene. How can there be treasures in the depths of this mountain range? Lin Fei carefully controlled the divine fire space. Even if there are treasures, the powerful existences living here should have sensed it long ago. How can it be my turn? Lin Fei could not figure out this problem, but since the system had already said so, it must be true. Whoosh! 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 Lin Fei pushed the divine fire space to the limit. During this time, a few powerful existences tried to snatch the divine fire space. They seemed to treat it as a treasure, giving them quite a fright. Fortunately, they later learned to be obedient. They walked between the two territories, not worrying about encountering powerful existences. Flood dragon horses? In the divine flame space near a valley, Lin Fei actually saw flood dragon horses. There were a total of 8 flood dragon horses. My luck can't be that good, right? Lin Fei's eyes lit up. These flood dragon horses were good stuff. As a mount, he would gain a lot of face. There seems to be someone here. After looking carefully, the scene at the city gate appeared in Lin Fei's mind for some reason. Damn, it can't be them, right? Lin Fei counted the flood dragon horses and matched their numbers. He seemed to be deep in thought. Could it be that they are also here for the treasures? Although he did not know how they came here and avoided the powerful immortal beasts along the way, there was one thing that could not be changed. They were here for treasures, not for sightseeing. Damn, how dare you steal my things? I'll show you. Lin Fei snorted. Let's steal the flood dragon horses first. Let's see how you'll return. Even now, Lin Fei was still afraid of the horrors along the way. Lin Fei first observed the surroundings for a while, not daring to release his divine sense. Not seeing anyone, he suspected that they had gone into the valley. As for why they left the flood dragon horses at the entrance of the valley, that was a question. Who cares why they left them here? If I run into them, the flood dragon horses are mine. Controlling the divine flame space, he headed for the flood dragon horses. The flood dragon horses that had been chewing suddenly stopped, as if sensing something, startling Lin Fei. It turns out that the flood dragon horse is very sensitive. The moment there is any movement, it will be able to detect it. Lin Fei immediately understood that they were used as sentries. Those who did not know might really fall for it. Unfortunately, This trick is useless against me. The flood dragon horses reacted quickly, but unfortunately, Lin Fei's divine flame space specialized in dealing with them. He quietly came to the side and released a huge whirlpool, swallowing the flood dragon horse. After succeeding with one, Lin Fei knew that these flood dragon horses were just to guard against the outside world. As for the other flood dragon horses, he was not worried at all. The remaining 7 flood dragon horses were all taken down by Lin Fei. Awesome. 8 flood dragon horses. Within the divine flame space, the 8 flood dragon horses were sealed by the divine flame. As if they knew the power of the flame, they became extremely obedient. Lin Fei took away the 8 flood dragon horses, just like that. Only Lin Fei could make them so quiet in a short period of time. They should all be inside. I'll take care of them all at once. A cold light flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. Chapter 749. Just as Lin Fei was about to go in to see what was going on, the sound of something tearing through the air interrupted his thoughts. Someone came here? Lin Fei was puzzled. Could it be that the person was also here for the treasure? Otherwise, who would appear here? Let me take a look first. He had relied on the god-fiend body and the divine fire space to get here. If outsiders could come, their strength would not be simple. It was best to be careful. Whoosh, whoosh, the sound of something tearing through the air could be heard. Lin Fei controlled the divine fire space and attached it to the rocks. The other party arrived quietly. What a powerful aura! The moment they descended, they were like 2 super helicopters. Their powerful auras transformed into saber beams that whistled through the air. The surrounding trees and rocks danced in the air like snowflakes falling. It was incomparably dazzling. Lin Fei saw 2 young men. They looked young, but their eyes were full of spirit. A glance from them could shock the world. So far, these 2 were the strongest people Lin Fei had seen. They were many times stronger than the 3 mystic immortals he had killed before. I wonder where these 2 came from. What a powerful foundation. Just their auras are so condensed that they can kill heaven immortals. Lin Fei thought, fortunately, I kept the flood dragon horse just now. Otherwise, they would have benefited. Senior brother, this treasure is useful. We actually made it here, safely. One of the short young men took out a golden skeleton and sighed in amazement. The person who was addressed as senior brother was very proud. Humph, of course. This is the skeleton of the white tiger, one of the 4 divine beasts. No, it should be the supremacy white tiger. It advanced from the 4 divine beasts to the supremacy white tiger. Its entire body contains the might of a supremacy. Any powerful existence will subconsciously be suppressed by the supremacy's might. Supremacy white tiger? Good stuff. Lin Fei drooled. He wished he could snatch it from their hands. He had worked hard all the way here, but they easily came here with the skeleton of a divine beast like the supremacy white tiger. It was really infuriating to compare oneself with others. Senior brother is mighty, the short junior brother flattered. The supreme white tiger skeleton is nothing. That person continued. What can our Elysium Academy not have? Right now, we are outer court disciples. Once we become inner court disciples, we will be able to enjoy even greater authority. Senior brother, let me tell you, only by continuously increasing our strength, becoming inner court disciples is our goal. Senior brother Zhao, junior brother has learned something. The short junior brother seemed to have been injected with adrenaline and was immediately filled with fighting spirit. All right, let's go in now. There's a divine soul grass here. If it hasn't been taken, it should still be here. Zhao Long said proudly. Congratulations, senior brother. It's said that the god soul grass can strengthen one's spiritual consciousness. It's a pity that the legendary god soul grass is missing in this world. The short Feng Tian said regretfully. God spirit grass is just something from the legends. Don't believe it so easily. Zhao Long said nonchalantly. Let's go in." In a flash, the two of them entered a valley not far away and disappeared. God's soul grass, God's soul grass? Lin Fei pondered. Could it be that the two are one? Lin Fei had consumed the God soul grass before, strengthening his spiritual consciousness and entering the heaven immortal realm. How could he not be surprised when he heard about the God soul grass, especially when it was related to the God soul grass? It doesn't matter if it's true or not. I have consumed the God soul grass before, so I must get my hands on the God soul grass no matter where you are from. Lin Fei was afraid of this Elysium Academy. The two outer court disciples were only Xian immortal realm cultivators. They had accumulated a lot of experience and were like war gods descending from the heavens. When they were all in and Lin Fei was about to enter, the two of them came back. "Senior brother, other than us, no one will come here," Feng Tian said disapprovingly. Zhao Long's eyes were sharp as if he wanted to see through everyone. "God soulgrass is very useful to me. There's nothing wrong with being careful. This place once had the remnant aura of the flood dragon horse. It's better to be careful." This be asterisk starred. Lin Fei secretly rejoiced that he had not rushed in immediately. Otherwise, he might have been caught off guard and exposed himself. After a while, when no one came out, Lin Fei believed that they had really entered. He then controlled the God Flame space to enter the valley. The two from Elysium Academy had accumulated a lot of experience. It wasn't something Lin Yun and the rest could compare to. Lin Fei felt that it was better to be careful in case he was discovered. If he hadn't discovered the God soul grass before, Lin Fei wouldn't have cared so much. However, the words just now reminded him that the God soul grass and God soul grass had extraordinary effects. Especially when the two were linked together, the effects would be even better. Even though it sounded like a legend, Lin Fei was willing to give it a try. If he was lucky, he might get a huge opportunity. It wouldn't be worth it not to try. There are sounds of fighting. After entering the valley, there were rocks everywhere. The place was filled with a cold and gloomy aura. Lin Fei reacted subconsciously. "Don't kill me. This young master is also a disciple of Elysium Academy." Lin Fei approached carefully. After passing through a pile of rocks, he appeared at the end of the valley. It turned out that the valley wasn't big. At the end of the valley, there was a small lake in the forest. The lake water was pitch black and gloomy. In the forest beside the lake, there were a few corpses. One of the corpses was injured on the ground. His chest was heaving up and down as he struggled. "You're from Elysium Academy?" Zhao Long stopped and asked. When they arrived, they saw that someone had beaten them to it, so they made a move on the spot. With their strength, they swept through the area, leaving corpses on the ground. As expected, it's that young master Ying Tianhen. I didn't expect him to come for the God soul grass. Lin Fei was quite surprised. When he saw the flood dragon horse, he had some doubts in his heart. But when he saw Ying Tianhen on the ground, he couldn't help but be shocked. "Yes, I'm going to Elysium Academy in a month," Ying Tianhen explained. The two of them were simply too strong. With just one attack, they had killed off his subordinates and wounded him as well. That's right. That's right. Humph. Anyone can say that they're a disciple of Elysium Academy. Do you have any proof? Feng Tian's eyes flashed coldly. He took out an item and waved it in front of Ying Tianhen. "We're from Elysium Academy." Ying Tianhen's eyes flashed with joy. "Senior brothers, we're from the same academy. This is my proof." He took out a token from his storage ring. The words Elysium were engraved on the front. It was as if a saint had come into being. Whoosh! The token landed in Feng Tian's hand. "Senior brother, this token is indeed from our Elysium Academy. He should be a new batch of outer disciples. He hasn't sent in his origin divine sense and merged with the Elysium token," Feng Tian said, clearly relieved. Zhao Long's smile disappeared and turned into a cold sneer. The god soul grass that I'm interested in isn't something that you mortals can covet. Tianhen wasn't an idiot. He said in a panic, "You can't kill me. My aunt is an inner disciple of Elysium Academy. If you dare to make a move, you'll definitely die." Chapter 750. You're just an outer disciple who hasn't even entered the school yet. Who will know if I kill you? Feng Tian's eyes gleamed coldly. If you were an official outer disciple, we wouldn't be able to touch you with the Elysium token protecting you. But now, Zhao Long took a step forward, unleashing an immortal art. Immortal energy and runes filled the sky, interweaving together. The injured Tianhen's eyes widened as his fleshly body collapsed, killed on the spot. The immortal art of a Xian immortal stage immortal was extremely powerful. It was not something the injured Tianhen could defend against. You dare to covet my soul grass? You're courting death. Zhao Long sneered. Ever since he found the soul grass, he'd treated it as his own. How could he allow an outsider to steal it? Just as he said, if the other party was an official outer disciple of the Elysium Academy, they wouldn't dare to attack. The Academy didn't allow internal strife, so they left an immortal's power on the Elysium token. Once they attacked, they'd leave their aura on the body. PFFF! Zhao Long let out a muffled groan as he was sent flying. He slammed into the walls of the valley, and a large number of rocks fell down. No one had expected such a scene to unfold. Feng Tian, how dare you attack me? Zhao Long struggled out of the rubble. His face was filled with rage as he pulled out a needle from his back. Soul-trapping nail. Feng Tian smiled crazily. Dear senior brother, you didn't think I would attack you, did you? Within the divine flame space, Lin Fei was also shocked. To think that something like this would actually happen. It really was a good show. I'm going to kill you. Zhao Long didn't expect that his most trusted junior brother would make a move against him and even use the insidious soul-extinguishing nail. Zhao Long wanted to kill him. Kill me? Ha ha ha. How are you going to kill me? Feng Tian laughed. You've been hit by the soul-destroying nail and your body will melt. So will your primordial spirit. Who asked you to bring me here to find the soul grass? Only the fated can obtain such a supreme treasure. Unfortunately, you're not fated to get it. PFFF. Zhao Long spat out a mouthful of black blood. His body started to melt. The soul-destroying nail's power started. Die. Seeing that he wouldn't be able to survive, Zhao Hu took out the supreme white tiger skeleton and activated it. A ferocious light soared into the sky, and a supreme white tiger appeared. Roar! The supreme white tiger was in charge of slaughter. It released a long roar and swooped down. At both sides of the valley, mountain rocks flew everywhere, and the great earth split apart. Gung metal aura filled the skies. Bang! Feng Tian was sent flying, crashing into the valley. He had been injured in just one move. I didn't expect you to have such a treasure. Feng Tian struggled to stand up. You have a treasure. Junior brother also has a treasure. This is a top-grade armor, otherwise we would really be at a disadvantage. Unknowingly, a silver-white armor had appeared on Feng Tian's body. At this moment, the armor was dented and his face was pale. Clearly, he hadn't been able to withstand that attack. That supreme white tiger just now was really terrifying. Lin Fei was inwardly startled. A piece of skeleton already possesses such might. If the white tiger sovereign was truly here, I wonder how terrifying it would be. This Elysium Academy's disciple is truly wealthy. You really hit it well. Zhao Long's aura was getting weaker and weaker. The soul destruction nail had almost melted. It's a pity that you can't use the supreme white tiger sovereign anymore. Feng Tian walked over with greed in his eyes. The god soul grass will belong to me alone. With this god soul grass, I will definitely be able to stand out in the outer sect. No one will be able to stop me. After using the supreme white tiger sovereign skeleton once, Feng Tian was no longer worried. Primordial spirit ignition. Zhao Long, who was about to die, opened his eyes. His primordial spirit flew out and supreme power descended. He used the supreme white tiger sovereign skeleton for the last time and attacked Feng Tian. Let's die together. At this moment, Zhao Long's primordial spirit completely ignited and he used a powerful killing move. Bang! The supreme white tiger sovereign arrived. Crack, crack. That top-grade armor was shattered into pieces. The supreme white tiger sovereign's gunmetal aura swept down like sword chi and interweaved. Ha ha ha, I'm still not dead. Feng Tian crawled out from the rubble. His armor was already broken. He took out an immortal pill and swallowed it to recover from his injuries. The god soul grass is mine. No one can take it away from me. Being able to become a disciple of the Holy Heavens Academy, which one of them didn't have any ambitions. Senior brother, your mistake is that you shouldn't have told me that humans have ambitions. For the sake of standing out, what's the harm in killing you? Everyone looks out for themselves. You are too stupid. Feng Tian had followed Zhao Long for a long time and was always treated as a little brother. Ever since he found out about the god soul grass, he had the idea to buy a sinister immortal weapon like the soul destruction nail. The Elysium token was the least guarded against such a sinister immortal weapon. Otherwise, he wouldn't have made a move. Clap, clap, clap. Suddenly, a person walked out from the quiet valley and appeared in front of Feng Tian. I didn't expect to see such a good show in a place like this. Lin Fei walked up to the supreme white tiger sovereign skeleton and reached out to grab it. Feng Tian stared at the powerful immortal weapon falling into Lin Fei's hand with a hideous expression. A heaven immortal dares to take advantage of me? You're courting death. Feng Tian's body emitted several immortal force runes. The sky was filled with dazzling lights like the stars in the night sky. Roar! Another supreme being, White Tiger, slaughtered its way over. It released a tremendous roar, immediately shattering the immortal force symbols that filled the sky. To be able to be called a supreme being, how could it be ordinary? It slaughtered its way towards Feng Tian. Bang, bang, bang! The heavily injured Feng Tian's body exploded. The supreme white tiger's attack was too ferocious, crushing everything in its path. In this one-sided situation, immortal light descended from Feng Tian's body as the Elysium token was activated. Enter! Lin Fei had expected this. When the immortal light descended, a wave of energy descended and hid in the divine fire space. The trembling energy traveled through the air and an immortal appeared. He had a dignified expression and could determine life and death with a glance. Once this immortal appeared, even Lin Fei, who was in the divine fire space, felt his soul being suppressed. It was incomparably terrifying. After a few short breaths, which felt like a century, the immortal dissipated. How terrifying! If Lin Fei hadn't been hiding at the side and heard their conversation, he would have been heavily injured by this supreme immortal's attack. I'm safe now. After a full hour, the valley was silent. Other than the stench of blood, there was nothing else. Standing in the valley, Lin Fei put away the supreme white tiger skeleton. After activating it 3 times in a row, the skeleton was covered in cracks and looked like it would collapse at any moment. What a pity. If I activate it one more time, it will probably shatter. Lin Fei had a supreme treasure refining technique that could refine thousands of treasures. This supreme white tiger skeleton wasn't refined by anyone. It could be said that anyone could activate it. The reason why Lin Fei came out so quickly was because he didn't want his opponent to get his hands on the skeleton. He activated it too quickly, and it could be said that no matter how many people came, he would be able to kill them all. The supreme great armor was amazing, but it was still torn apart by the supreme white tiger. Lin Fei didn't want to go through the same thing again. He would rather take the risk and attack. Everything went as he imagined. Zhao Long's senior brother heavily injured his opponent. Adding on the fact that he had lost his armor, he was fated to be crushed. After putting away the supreme white tiger skeleton, Xiao Qin found a few storage rings. Unfortunately, the quality of the storage rings was not high. Under the attack of the supreme white tiger's gunmetal blade, they were all trash. Not a single one was intact. As for the things inside, needless to say, they were all shattered. After cleaning up the scene, Lin Fei cared about the most was a sacred heaven token. A blank sacred heaven token. On the surface of the token, there were 2 words, sacred heaven, and the back was blank. They found a complete sacred heaven token at the scene with the words Zhao Long on the back. As for the other token, it was completely broken, but the words heaven sealing could still be seen. When I go out, I will ask around about the Sacred Heaven Academy. If they are powerful, it will be much easier to find a backer. If an outer disciple can obtain a powerful immortal artifact, like the Supreme White Tiger, then wouldn't it be even better for an inner disciple? Lin Fei thought, if I want to advance my god-fiend physique, I will need a large amount of supreme-grade materials and immortal pills. The Sacred Heaven Academy might be a good place to go. Whether to go to the Sacred Heaven Academy or not, Lin Fei hadn't decided yet. Therefore, he kept the 2 Sacred Heaven tokens. The only thing he had to do now was to get the Divine Soul Grass. The battle at the scene didn't affect the area. There was a piece of pure land in the middle of the lake. There was an immortal herb glowing with a silvery white light. It looked like a bright moon, and it made people feel relaxed and happy. Ying Tianhen and the rest arrived a long time ago, but they didn't go to collect it. It shouldn't be ripe yet. Lin Fei guessed. Since they came at this time, it shouldn't be far from ripening. Thinking of this, Lin Fei calmed down. The ripening day should be at night, and it wouldn't be too late. For safety and the ripening of the heavenly treasure, Lin Fei took out the array formation of the Sacred Heaven Academy's disciples from his storage ring. They seemed to have expected the change and specially brought the array formation. At this moment, it had become a free tool in Lin Fei's hands. After setting up the array formation, Lin Fei felt at ease. The power of the array formation from the Sacred Heaven Academy shouldn't be simple. It shouldn't be a problem to isolate the changes brought about by the ripening of the Divine Soul Grass. Therefore, Lin Fei began to wait just like that. The moon was high in the sky. Lin Fei waited until midnight. The bright moonlight shone down, and the temperature of the valley continued to drop. Frost appeared in the surroundings. This lake is also emitting a cold aura. Ordinary immortal herbs won't be able to survive. Lin Fei stared at the Divine Soul Grass in the middle of the lake. Even though the cold aura was dense, it couldn't invade the Divine Soul Grass. Whoosh! In the quiet valley, the black lake began to move. Like a wave, it began to sway unceasingly. Lin Fei frowned, and a bad feeling arose in his heart. The lake water rolled, and a giant snake about 100 john long rushed out of the lake. Its black scales flashed coldly under the night sky, and a fishy smell assaulted his nostrils. Hiss! The giant snake came out of the water, and its sinister eyes stared at Lin Fei. Chapter 751. What a scam! While hiding in the valley, Lin Fei attempted to investigate, but there was nothing in the lake. To his surprise, the flood serpent hiding at the bottom of the lake came out just as the Divine Soul Grass was about to mature. It had the ability to fool one's divine perception. Whoosh! Whoosh! The flood serpent treated Lin Fei as a potential enemy. The black water that filled the sky shot down like arrows, instantly corroding the void. The vast void was in an incomplete state. It was extremely terrifying. Lin Fei didn't dare block the flood serpent's attack with his god-fiend body. The spot where he was originally at was in a mess. At the same time, there were still remnants of the corrosive aura. This flood serpent's venom is truly terrifying. Even a mystic immortal would be poisoned if they were caught off guard, right? Lin Fei constantly dodged the attacks, as he guessed. The Divine Soul Grass in the middle of the lake was about to mature. It emitted a resplendent glow that made the night seem like day. I can't continue. Otherwise, the divine soul grass will really not be fated with me. Lin Fei drew his divine sword. Under normal circumstances, he wouldn't use a divine-grade immortal sword. Whoosh! 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 Lin Fei's sword art flew out like a wave, landing on the flood serpent's body. Such a fast sword art only left white marks on the flood serpent's body. A divine-grade immortal sword, coupled with a sword art, could kill even mystic immortals. However, it was useless against the flood serpent. Damn it! Lin Fei cursed. He used his movement technique and dashed over. He wanted to be the first to obtain the god's soul grass. After a short attack, Lin Fei had already realized that the flood serpent was definitely extraordinary. If he could snatch it, a peak mystic immortal would temporarily be unable to break through its defenses. The flood serpent seemed to be very smart. With a flash of its massive body, the black water that filled the sky enveloped Lin Fei like a sky curtain. It wanted to block Lin Fei outside and prevent him from snatching it. Lin Fei had seen the power of the black water. It was extraordinary. Even with his god-fiend body, he couldn't withstand it. Damn it. Don't tell me I'm going to miss this opportunity, just like that. Lin Fei wasn't willing to give up. The black water canopy had blocked his way. Was he really going to miss the treasure and the great opportunity that belonged to him? Whoosh! Lin Fei's primordial spirit suddenly flew out, uncontrollably. Whoosh! His essence soul rushed through the sky and strangely landed on the flood serpent's body. The flood serpent, which tried to take the divine soul grass, stopped moving. Good chance. Lin Fei activated the divine sword and tore open the sky curtain, charging over. Losing control, the sky curtain lost its power. Return! He grabbed it with his big hand, but the mellow treasure light bounced back. This was the first time he didn't catch it, which surprised Lin Fei. The god's soul grass had a spirit. Lin Fei used all his strength to uproot the godly soul grass. The moment it left the ground, a godly spirit appeared and disappeared in a flash, shocking everyone. I finally got it. Lin Fei saw the changes in the godly soul grass. Then he thought of the divine spirit grass that he had consumed before. It seemed to be extremely similar to this scene. The godly soul grass and divine spirit grass belonged to the same body. It wasn't unreasonable, but it was a pity that these two types were extremely rare. After obtaining the godly soul grass, Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. He looked at the flood serpent in the black water again. It was motionless as if it was dead. It's the problem after my primordial spirit fused with the Holy Mother again. Ever since he self-detonated, there was a certain problem with his primordial spirit fusing with the Holy Mother. It wasn't too obvious when he was in the lower realm, but after coming up, Lin Fei saw the difference, but he couldn't do anything about it. If his primordial spirit hadn't come out and stopped the flood serpent, the godly soul grass definitely wouldn't have belonged to Lin Fei. He would probably have been able to watch, helplessly. My primordial spirit is absorbing the power of the flood serpent? Lin Fei was shocked. The powerful flood serpent's power was constantly weakening, and it was no longer as powerful as before. White cocoons of light kept appearing beside it. Lin Fei wasn't surprised by the white cocoon. Back in the Holy Mother's space, it was this white cocoon. Could it be that my primordial spirit is about to hatch a species? Lin Fei was secretly alarmed. It had really become nondescript. This process didn't take long. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, the flood serpent turned into a pile of bones. Who would have thought that the flood serpent would turn into a pile of white bones in such a short time? His primordial spirit transmitted news that the white cocoon would hatch into a powerful species in less than 10 days. Lin Fei put away the white cocoon, and his primordial spirit returned to his sea of consciousness. He didn't feel any discomfort. The flood serpent's skin should be quite valuable. Lin Fei put away the flood serpent's skin. It was definitely an extraordinary item to be able to block the attack of a divine-grade immortal sword. It was definitely the right choice to take care of it. With the godly soul grass in hand, Lin Fei planned to change locations and consume the immortal grass to see what the results would be. Rumble, an earth-shattering sound followed. A raised hand slapped down from the sky and smashed into the valley. The entire valley was instantly razed to the ground. I will hunt you to the ends of the earth for killing someone from my purgatory sect. A powerful existence appeared in the sky above the mountain. He was the one who had slammed down that huge mountain valley. The huge mountain valley had been turned into flat ground. It was a scene of devastation. It was no longer the same as before. This person was the golden immortal expert who had been chasing after him. Whoosh! 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 Lin Fei rushed out from the ruins. He was injured by the palm and his god-fiend body cracked. He targeted a spot and instantly flew out. He's not dead. The golden immortal expert was shocked. A heaven immortal kid didn't die from his palm. He was really lucky. 10,000 Li capture. The golden immortal expert reached out and grabbed. His arm extended infinitely. The Jinguang was resplendent, illuminating the night sky as it grabbed towards the heaven immortal kid. Lin Fei cursed. He could still catch up to him in such a place. F***CK. Was the purgatory sect a dog to be able to find him here? This was deep in the mountain range, and there were no traces left behind. He couldn't help but admire the purgatory sect's tracking ability. Not simple. Slash! Lin Fei slashed out. Sword intent slashed onto the long hand. With his full strength, he slashed the huge hand apart. Divine grade immortal sword. The golden immortal expert's expression turned ugly. He had failed twice in a row. If word got out, he would be a joke. You can't escape. The golden immortal expert had a thought. His broken arm grew back and he chased, wanting to capture Lin Fan. Lin Fei raised his speed to the maximum. However, the golden immortal behind him was still unhurried. The distance between him and the golden immortal continued to close. It wouldn't be long before he lost the advantage. The speed of a golden immortal expert is really terrifying. My speed is still not enough. Lin Fei felt the pressure. As time goes on, he will definitely catch up. I have to think of a way to shake him off. The distance between them continued to close. It wasn't a good thing for Lin Fei. His eyes moved and an idea came to him. Old thing behind me, you can just eat my dust. Ha ha ha. Lin Fei activated it once more, and his movement technique increased once more. Sharp-tongued fellow, when I catch you, I will definitely let you have a taste of all my methods. Chapter 752. Rumble in the dark night. Rays of light shone as bright as day. A tyrannical force rushed over. No matter what it was hit. Dust fell from the sky, fluttering everywhere. You're pissing me off. The golden immortal expert, who had been chasing after Lin Fan, said angrily. It had been an hour since the chase started. That heaven immortal kid's mouth had not been clean, and he kept spewing vulgarities that were hard to hear. When had a dignified golden immortal expert ever received such treatment? Everyone was respectful to him and wanted to suck up to him, afraid of offending him. But right now, a stinking brat was speaking viciously to him, and his curses were as vile as they could be. It caused this golden immortal realm expert's rage to shoot into the sky, yet he had nowhere to vent it. Brat, you can't escape from me. The golden immortal expert had attacked countless times. The tyrannical force tore through the void. If it was anyone else, they would have been torn to pieces and died countless times. Yet this brat had persisted. He seemed to have cultivated a powerful body-tempering cultivation technique. He had held on all the way and was just a small step away from taking down his opponent. Ha ha ha, old thing, I've heard your words so many times. Can't you change to someone else? Lin Fei coughed out blood as he fled. His first god-fiend body was covered in wounds. It was a ghastly sight. Lin Fei looked relaxed, but in reality, he was under immense pressure. A golden immortal expert was indeed a golden immortal expert. They were extraordinary. If it wasn't for the fact that his immortal power was dense and he was constantly channeling it, he would have been caught long ago. A first refinement god-fiend felt powerless against a golden immortal expert's attack. If he was a second refinement god-fiend, he definitely wouldn't be so heavily injured. Lin Fei had expected Purgatory sect to pursue him. The only thing he didn't expect was to kill a few human immortals and heaven immortals. At most, they would have sent immortals at the mystic immortal level to deal with him. Lin Fei had never expected Purgatory sect to take him so seriously. Wrong. It should be the higher-ups who took him seriously and arranged for a golden immortal expert to hunt him down. A golden immortal expert against a heaven immortal was bullying the weak. It would be a joke if word got out. Soon. Just hold on a little longer. I'll definitely teach him a lesson. A cold light flashed in Lin Fei's eyes. I can't spit out my blood in vain. It's important to have something in return. The golden immortal expert, Wu Shan, was furious. He attacked from afar, causing the other party to cough up blood continuously. Every time he tried to catch up, the other party would explode with immortal power and widen the distance again, maintaining a distance of a few thousand kilometers. This old man doesn't believe that you're made of iron and can persevere for so long. Wu Shan kept activating his immortal power, not giving his opponent any chance to heal himself. He's running towards the swamp. You want to shake me off? Don't even think about it. Seeing that the other party was running downwards, it seemed like he was about to enter a swamp filled with trees. Meteor fire rain. The meteors danced in the sky like a fireball, smashing towards the swamp. Wu Shan had checked earlier. There were no powerful immortal beasts below, so there was no need to worry about waking them up. Boom, boom, boom. As the meteor fire rain fell, a pitch-black swamp was revealed, as well as the battered sky immortal kid below. Lin Fei snickered. You dared to use an area of effect immortal art like meteor fire rain. You're asking for it. Sigh. Your attacks are too strong. You are about to kill me. Lin Fei laughed out loudly and dashed into a dense forest. Wu Shan had always had a bad temper, especially when his superiors arranged for him to hunt down a sky immortal kid. This made him very unhappy. Plus, he had been provoked several times, so he completely exploded. Boom, boom. Wu Shan kept activating immortal arts, trying to injure his opponent. Seeing that his opponent was about to enter the forest, Wu Shan raised his palm. Dark clouds covered the sky. He wanted to slap his opponent half to death. Roar! With this slap, a wave of evil energy shot up into the sky. It transformed into a huge, ferocious beast, boundless and endless. Damn it! There's a powerful, ferocious beast below. Wu Shan's expression changed. He hurriedly retreated. In this mountain range, there were many powerful beings that were terrifying. If he was not careful, he could be decapitated. This was no laughing matter. On his way here, Wu Shan had been very careful. Coupled with his familiarity with the terrain, he did not encounter any huge beasts. Whoosh, 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 the huge swamp moved and countless tentacles flew out from the bottom. Even though Wu Shan was a golden immortal expert, under the attack of the giant beast, half of his body was destroyed on the spot. The tentacles were invincible in battle. Brat, I won't let you go. A Jingguang shot out and disappeared into the night. This powerful, ferocious beast had not even attacked yet, but Wu Shan, a golden immortal, was already panicking. He began to flee. What a pity I didn't kill him. Below the swamp, Lin Fei did not dare to move. He watched the golden immortal escape, feeling regretful. The ferocious beast below was a darkness tentacle beast. It liked to live in the swamp. Last time, it had passed by this place and almost became its prey. Lin Fei remembered this place. Along the way, Lin Fei used the supreme white tiger to stun the other party. The people from Holy Heaven Academy all said that it was effective. Lin Fei bit the bullet and gave it a try. As expected, he succeeded. Cursing was just to provoke the other party and make them not calm down and pay attention to the surroundings. I should be safe for now. Lin Fei did not dare to stay here for long. If the supreme white tiger lost its effect, it would be very bad. Lin Fei chose to leave in the opposite direction. He did not want to bump into that golden immortal. Even if he were to be severely injured, that golden immortal was still stronger than him. It was better not to take that risk. After all, it was not worth it at all. Lin Fei traveled thousands of miles before he found an inconspicuous place and hid in the divine fire space. Since the golden immortal could find him, he must have left something on him. He had to be careful. The divine fire space was isolated from everything, so there was no need to worry. Lin Fei took out the god soul grass and planned to consume it. He remembered the legend. If it was true, it would be a huge opportunity. I should look for clues before I eat it. That would be a huge loss. Lin Fei flipped through the storage rings and started to search for relevant information. It would be a huge loss to consume such a holy grass carelessly. It was not worth it. Lin Fei really found it. He found a jade scroll in Ying Tianhin's storage ring that recorded information about the god soul grass. So, I can consume the god soul grass directly. With this, Lin Fei was completely relieved. He took out the god soul grass again, and Lin Fei swallowed it just like that. The moment he bit it, the fragrance of the medicine filled the air and it melted in his mouth. He was immersed in a mysterious feeling. This was a feeling that Lin Fei had never experienced before. As he ate the entire god soul grass, that mysterious feeling surged up. He closed his eyes to rest and immersed himself in that mysterious feeling. On the other side, "Damn brat, you actually tricked me." At the foot of a tall mountain, Wu Shan was in a sorry state. The divine great immortal armor on him had been broken just like that. If not for the divine great immortal armor protecting him, he would not have just been injured. Wu Shan took out the immortal pill and ate it. Thinking about how he was almost killed, he cursed his opponent countless times. He blamed himself for falling for it. Ha ha ha, Wu Shan, how did you end up like this? Wu Shan had just eaten the immortal pill when a mocking voice sounded. Then a figure landed. He was not far from Wu Shan, sizing him up with interest. It was not easy for him to escape. Wu Shan did not tidy himself up. Hearing this voice, he knew that things were bad. "Feng Xingzi, will you die if you don't tell me?" Wu Shan activated the medicine and changed into another immortal armor so that he would not be in such a sorry state. The immortal who came was also a golden immortal from the Purgatory sect. The only difference was that there was enmity between them. Feng Xingzi would always mock Wu Shan. "Haha, who let me see you in such a sorry state? You are a golden immortal expert." Feng Xingzi laughed out loud and didn't seem to have restrained himself. "This kind of thing is really rare. Did you fight with a huge beast?" "Ha ha ha." Wu Shan wanted nothing more than to slap this guy to death. His mouth was as stinky as that brat's. They were equally annoying. However, at this moment, even if Wu Shan attacked, he would not be a match for him. "Why are you here?" Wu Shan changed the topic. He didn't want to talk about this anymore. "The higher-ups have given the order for you to capture him quickly. Right now, our Purgatory sect's reputation is very bad. We've become a joke in the northern region." Feng Xingzi chuckled out. "I requested to come here on my own accord. That's why I saw this scene. This is really interesting." "Humph, if you're so capable, try chasing after that heaven immortal." Wu Shan scoffed. "Ha ha ha, it can't be." Feng Xingzi was surprised. "You couldn't have been tricked, right? That's really interesting. That brat is in this mountain range. You can go and find him yourself." Wu Shan closed his eyes to rest and began to heal his injuries. He didn't want to waste any more words. It was really a sad thing. This place is full of powerful immortal beasts. Let's go together. We can take care of each other. Feng Xingzi had always been shrewd and cunning. Wu Shan's strength was slightly stronger than his, but he still ended up like this. Naturally, he didn't dare to act alone. Feng Xingzi didn't believe that Wu Shan was tricked by that brat. How could a heaven immortal brat be so powerful? Wu Shan must have encountered a powerful immortal beast. How could he fool me? Feng Xingzi guessed arrogantly. When Wu Shan heard this, he didn't say anything. That brat was too cunning. He was as slippery as a loach. 2 people would be better than 1 person to deal with him, even if that brat had a bad breath. His strength was still acceptable. If a golden immortal expert said that he couldn't catch the brat, he would probably be laughed at to death. Naturally, Wu Shan wouldn't say that. When Feng Xingzi said this, he scoffed. Whatever. Anyway, I alone am enough to catch that brat. Chapter 753. Whoosh, inside the divine fire space. Lin Fei awoke from the mysterious feeling and took a deep breath. A bright light flashed in his eyes as if he had comprehended something. There seemed to be a mysterious feeling at the same time. Ding! Congratulations to player for obtaining a huge opportunity. Ding! Congratulations to player for advancing to the 2nd revolution of the God-fiend body. Lin Fei was still digesting the news when he heard the system's joyful voice. He couldn't help but be shocked. I've advanced to the 2nd revolution. Just like that? It was a surprise. It was just too surprising. Lin Fei tried to sense it. The demonic aura around him was several times stronger than before. It was a sign of the advancement of the God-fiend body. 2nd revolution, God-fiend body. Isn't that a little too fast? Lin Fei wasn't prepared for his God-fiend body to reach the 2nd God-fiend transformation. Consuming the divine soul grass would bring him such a huge opportunity. Just as the system had said, he had really obtained a huge opportunity. His God-fiend body had advanced from the 1st revolution to the 2nd revolution, and his defense had reached an important level. Lin Fei had always believed that it would take a long time for his God-fiend body to reach the 2nd revolution. It would take at least half a year, but it had been brought forward by so much. It should be the help of the divine soul grass. The dreamlike existence surfaced in Lin Fei's mind. Divine spirit herbs and divine soul grass are a natural match. They contain the spirit of a god. Lin Fei thought to himself, unfortunately, divine spirit herbs and divine soul grass usually aren't together. It's rare for the 2 to combine. I'm one of the lucky ones. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. A massive divine sense surged out. A supreme giant stood in the divine fire space. Radiant godhood enveloped his massive body, making him look like a god that had descended into the world. My God-fiend body has advanced to the 2nd revolution, and my divine sense has reached the golden immortal level. It's indeed heaven-defying. Lin Fei opened his mouth. My divine sense contains godhood. It's equivalent to the divine might of a paragon. It's the same for my body. Whoosh! Lin Fei's body trembled as godhood covered his entire body. A divine might appeared, covering the sky and earth. The swaying divine fire stopped moving. What a great opportunity! What a great opportunity! Lin Fei laughed. For Lin Fei, he didn't have to worry about golden immortal experts with his 2nd refinement God-fiend body. At the very least, he could ignore early-stage golden immortal attacks for the time being. When a spirit consciousness that contained godhood broke through to the golden immortal realm, it was countless times stronger than ordinary spirit consciousnesses. It could be said that Lin Fei had a lot of benefits. The fusion of the divine soul grass and the divine spirit grass is indeed a great opportunity. Lin Fei was glad that he had consumed divine spirit herbs in the lower realms. His body contained godhood. Furthermore, my God-fiend body seems to contain a body. My defense seems to be stronger. Lin Fei could feel that the divine radiance wandering around his body, could even stop the divine fire. Humph. If I ever meet that golden immortal again, I'll definitely teach him a lesson. Even though he was still no match for the other party in terms of strength, just his second refinement god-fiend body alone was more than enough to leave the other party staring at him helplessly. As for his golden, immortal spiritual perception, there was no need to even mention it. Go. The golden immortal's enormous spiritual perception rushed out of the divine fire space, rampaging and extending outwards. Damn it, that kid must be nearby. Wu Shan's complexion had recovered significantly. He held an immortal artifact in his hand and was heading in their direction. Worried that he would not be able to catch up, Wu Shan immediately chased after him after recovering from his injuries. He did not want the other party to escape from him. Feng Xingzi did not believe that the kid would dare to stop. Are you sure? That kid is only at the heaven immortal realm. How dare he stay in a place like this? Doesn't he know that he's courting death? Wu Shan ignored Feng Xingzi. If it was necessary, he would not travel with Feng Xingzi. Whoosh! Leaves danced in the air as a shocking spiritual perception rushed over. The divine radiance was like that of a god descending to the lower realms. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi were both shocked. Such a powerful spiritual perception shocked them. Facing such a spiritual perception, they had the urge to kneel down and worship it. The two knew that they had encountered an expert. Such a spiritual perception was most likely a peak expert at the late-stage golden immortal realm or above. The two quickly stopped and tried to retract their spiritual perception. The godlike spiritual perception was extremely strong and forceful. It forcefully shattered their spiritual perception. Buffed! Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi vomited blood. It was not easy to recover from an injured spiritual perception. It was not like physical injuries that could be recovered with immortal elixirs. Senior, we are from the Purgatory sect. The first wave of spiritual perception had injured them. Their expressions changed drastically. If the spiritual perception really attacked, they would be killed. They quickly took out the immortal door behind them and tried to suppress the other party. The spiritual perception stopped and turned into a golden-armored giant. The overwhelming divine aura made it hard for them to breathe. Wu Shan regretted speaking. What was going on? He was tricked when he was chasing after a heaven immortal kid. Now he encountered a golden immortal expert. Was he too unlucky? The people from the Purgatory sect should die. The cold voice shook their minds as if they had been sentenced to death. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi's expressions changed again. Senior, please calm down, Feng Xingzi said hurriedly. This spiritual perception naturally belonged to Lin Fei. They could not recognize him after the transformation. They felt great. So my spiritual perception contains divinity and produces divine aura. It can suppress the opponent's spiritual perception. Lin Fei immediately understood that they had treated him as a senior. Humph! You intruded into my territory and disturbed my cultivation. You must be tired of living. Lin Fei changed his voice slightly. He sounded like an angry senior who was cultivating in seclusion. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi vomited blood again. They were just looking for someone who knew that there would be someone cultivating in seclusion in such a place. Their luck was too bad. Senior, we really did not mean it. Feng Xingzi was terrified. We are willing to compensate you. Please forgive us. His spiritual perception was already so strong that no one could resist it. If his real body appeared, wouldn't he be able to destroy them? Compensate? Can you afford it? Lin Fei was straightforward. First, they were chasing after him. Now it was his turn. I was refining immortal elixirs here and failed. How are you going to compensate me? The two were so scared that they broke out in cold sweat. The heaven realm and hell were huge. Just the north region alone was huge and boundless. Some immortals who refined immortal elixirs liked to be in the wilderness. These people hated to be disturbed. Once they messed things up, they would be furious and fight the person who disturbed them. This was a place where ferocious beasts gathered. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi almost vomited blood. They encountered such a thing. It was no wonder that the other party was so murderous. If things went wrong today, he might really die here. Escape? They were both golden immortals. They could not escape at all. Senior, please don't kill us. For the sake of the Purgatory sect, we will compensate you. Wu Shan struggled and begged. Chapter 754. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi were filled with hope. They wanted to capture the kid who gave the order so that they could make a huge contribution and raise their status and power in the sect. Who knew that they would encounter such a thing midway? Just the spiritual sense pressure alone was enough to make them suffer, and they gave up the thought of resisting. As golden immortal experts, they knew very well that those old and abnormal existences amongst the golden immortal experts would strike like a bolt of lightning every single time they attacked, and they were capable of sweeping through all the experts of this cultivation realm. Not to mention the two of them, they were too weak to even be cannon fodder. They suspected that the person in front of them was a top expert among the golden immortals. Once he attacked, they would have nowhere to run. It was obvious that they couldn't leave, so they might as well fight for him to show mercy and let them go. In the North region, Purgatory sect wasn't a small sect. He had to give them some face. As long as he didn't kill them, everything was fine. Lin Fei naturally saw what they were doing. He thought to himself, I didn't expect these two to be so cowardly. Unfortunately, I can't kill them. Since I can't kill them, I might as well extort them. They must have some good stuff on them. Extorting golden immortals. Just the thought of it was exciting. These two golden immortal experts had strong life force. It wouldn't be easy for Lin Fei to kill them. If my medicinal pills were so easily compensated, why would I have come to this desolate wilderness? You people really think well. Even a clay bodhisattva has a bit of anger. The golden-armored giant laughed coldly. Rumbling sounds rang out as the void around him crumbled. The two of them weren't ordinary people. Seeing this, they knew that they had a chance of survival. Don't be fooled by their anger. They didn't attack. This was equivalent to saying that they were afraid of Purgatory sect. As long as they didn't attack, they had a chance of survival. Golden immortals had long lifespans. Who wanted to die? No one wanted to die. If they could live, they would definitely choose to live. In their hearts, they hated that heavenly immortal brat to death. If it wasn't for him, how could they have encountered such a powerful expert, causing them to tremble in fear? They definitely had to take revenge. Senior, this is all I have. Wu Shan took out a black storage ring that floated in the air. Senior, please take whatever you like. Feng Xingzi also took out his storage ring reluctantly. Both of them were golden immortal state beings with quite a number of treasures in their storage rings. And right now, for the sake of their survival, they were willing to take them out. Just thinking about it made them want to cry. Who in the world had ever seen a golden immortal state being willing to take out their storage rings on their own accord? Lin Fei stretched out his hand, and the two storage rings fell into his hand. He did not look inside. Instead, he used his tyrannical divine sense to try and erase the divine sense on the storage rings. Pa la, Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi vomited blood again. Their faces looked even worse than before. Senior. Lin Fei glared at him. What? Do you have any objections? They were counting on the other party to take away a few treasures. With their divine senses, they did not have to worry about their divine senses being snatched away. But just now, the spirit consciousness on the storage ring had been erased. The two of them were shocked. They had never heard of a golden immortal expert being able to erase a storage ring. Could it be a golden celestial of the great all-embracing heaven? The two of them looked at each other and revealed a rare look of fear. They were trembling. To be able to erase the spirit consciousness so quickly, only a zenith heaven golden immortal could do it. Thinking of the other party's thunderous power, the two of them were shocked. Could it be that their luck was so bad that they met such a mysterious expert? A bunch of rubbish. Lin Fei snorted coldly. He was also in a state of shock. The divinity divine sense crushed down and erased his divine sense. It was clean and swift, and it was incomparably powerful. This was too powerful. Looking into the storage rings, there were indeed a lot of good things. This was their entire fortune. It was not a good time to count them. This time Lin Fei laughed. He actually blackmailed 2 golden immortals. This was so *king exciting. A heaven immortal blackmailed a golden immortal. This was the first person in the heaven realm. However, seeing that you are sincere, this matter is not unforgivable. Lin Fei's tone relaxed, and he pretended to be hesitant. Senior, if there is anything you need, please tell me. I will not refuse. Wu Shan was scared out of his wits. The only thought in his mind was to leave this damned mountain range. Catch a heaven immortal kid? Like hell. If there was another one along the way, he would not be able to live anymore. The storage rings that he gave out could not be taken back. Who could bear such a loss? His entire fortune was in there, and he had to force a smile in front of the other party. There was nothing more tragic in the world. The immortal armors on your bodies are not bad. They can barely make up for some money. Lin Fei's eyes were bright. The immortal armors on their bodies were valuable. Immortal armor? Wu Shan handed over the storage rings. He had already lost everything. Now the other party was eyeing his immortal armor? If this continued, he would really be penniless. Senior, I'll give. Feng Xingzi took off the immortal armor without hesitation. A layer of immortal armor appeared on his body, barely covering his body. He turned to Wu Shan and said, "Quickly take it off. Are you trying to get me killed?" Wu Shan cursed Feng Xingzi for being a coward. He took off the immortal armor unwillingly. This was a divine grade immortal armor. He spent a lot of money to buy it. He wanted to cry, but had no tears. If you weren't from Purgatory Sect, I would have killed the 2 of you on the spot. Your sect wouldn't have dared to make a sound. Lin Fei rolled up the immortal armor and snorted coldly. He thought to himself, good stuff. 2 divine grade immortal armors. Much better than the 9 dragons' immortal armor. Feng Xingzi said flatteringly, "Senior, we have done as you instructed. Can you let us leave now?" If they could not leave after paying so much, it would be a huge loss. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi were waiting anxiously. "I wanted to kill the 2 of you to vent my anger," Lin Fei said with a deadpan expression. "However, seeing that you all did it unintentionally along with compensation, I can let you all leave. However, this old man's immortal pills are priceless. If I were to let you all leave just like that, I would be letting you all off too easily. However, if you are able to withstand a palm strike from this old man, you all may leave." Cold sweat covered their foreheads. A zenith heaven golden immortal was going to kill them. Refuse? They would die even faster. They might as well fight to the death. At least they would have a chance. Go. A pitch-black object rushed towards them. It looked ordinary. The 2 panicked and thought it was an immortal artifact. They did not check it out. Boom, boom. The 2 quickly attacked. They attacked the immortal artifact with their strongest attacks, trying to block it. The joint attack of 2 golden immortals was earth-shattering. The night turned into day in an instant. Swoosh! Rays of light filled the sky. An immortal appeared out of thin air. The space collapsed. His eyes were like lightning as he swept across. "You killed the disciples of my Sagely Heaven Academy. You should be killed." The immortal slammed his palm down. Thunder rumbled. A vast and boundless aura was like an endless ocean. It lifted the veil and pressed down. Sagely Heaven Academy. Bang, bang, the 2 turned pale. The immortal's attack crushed everything. They were crushed in the storm. The area within 10,000 li was leveled. Roar, roar, roar. Countless ferocious beasts sensed this powerful force and woke up. They let out earth-shattering roars as if they wanted to shatter the sky. Hundreds of beasts prostrated in the huge mountain range, shivering and not daring to move. Terrifying auras interweaved. F***CK, do you have to be so fierce? Within the divine flame space, Lin Fei revealed a look of disbelief. There were just too many vicious beasts hiding in this mountain range, right? They were all interweaving together, truly terrifying enough. If he encountered them, wouldn't he be chased to the end? He subconsciously shrank his neck. It was terrifying. At the last moment, Lin Fei tricked them and used the Sagely Heaven order. They would never forget it for the rest of their lives. The roar of the ferocious beasts lasted for an hour before it quieted down. The beasts fled in panic. I wonder if they're dead. Lin Fei did not come out of the divine fire space. These ferocious beasts were in a rage. Who knew if they would encounter them? The immortal of the Sagely Heaven order contained an attack at the level of a golden immortal. They lost their immortal armor, so it won't be easy for them to just rely on their bodies. If I could improve my strength, I would definitely kill them. They got lucky this time. Controlling the divine fire space, Lin Fei left the place. Somewhere far away, two disheveled immortals lay in the bushes. Not a single part of their bodies was unharmed. Their auras were weak. It was a tragic sight. Wu Shan, you're a jinx. Feng Xingzi cursed. After that, he coughed up blood and his chest heaved violently. His injuries were severe. You're the jinx. If not for you, we wouldn't have encountered a powerful being and ended up like this. Wu Shan said resentfully. They had barely blocked the attack from the immortal in the Sagely Heaven order, but they were also heavily injured. Without the divine immortal armor, their defense was not as good as before. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in such a miserable state. Wu Shan blamed everything on Feng Xingzi. This guy was a jinx. Trouble had come. Feng Xingzi glared. You're the jinx. You're the jinx. The two golden immortals kept arguing, insisting on proving that the other was the jinx. They only stopped when they coughed up blood. Do you think we're the scapegoats? Wu Shan coughed up blood. Probably. Feng Xingzi coughed up blood, deep in thought. They all saw the immortal that appeared in the end. It was an immortal from the Sagely Heaven Academy. They were in big trouble. Damn, we're in big trouble now. They all knew about the existence of the Elysium token. Within it was the will of an immortal that could unleash a powerful attack. Those who were struck by it would have their aura left behind. Not long after, the law enforcement team of the Elysium Academy would rush over. Wu Shan and Feng Xingzi wanted to cry. They finally understood why that final attack was so ordinary. It turned out that it was to make them act so that they would be the scapegoats. If the Purgatory Gate knew, they would definitely kill them as an apology. Wu Shan, you attacked first, right? Feng Xingzi asked. You attacked first. Wu Shan would not admit it. Chapter 755. By Luo City. This city was under the control of the Purgatory sect. It only had a few million people and could only be considered a very small city. In the northern region, the Purgatory sect was quite powerful. They controlled cities of all sizes and supplied all kinds of resources to the Purgatory sect. By Luo City was a city in the outer area of the Purgatory sect. It was located in the wilderness and had never been valued. It was like a child raised by a stepmother. The grandmother didn't care about it, and the grandfather didn't love it. It was very tragic. Get out of the way, get out of the way. The streets were crowded with people, and it was bustling. At the end of the street, a group of people in black appeared. Sand and pebbles flew, and a murderous aura swept over. The people on the street moved to the side. Many people frowned. Obviously, they knew this group of people in black. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. This group of people was very fast. They whistled through the wind and appeared at the city gate not far away. In front of the notice board, they tore down the previous notice and pasted a new one. This person, Lin Fei, is a serious criminal of the Purgatory sect. Anyone who knows about this will be heavily rewarded. Anyone who hides this information will be punished severely. The middle-aged voice sounded like thunder, echoing in the hearts of the people. This group of people came and left quickly, leaving a trail of dust behind them. The people who were watching the show swarmed over and surrounded the area. They were full of curiosity. What was worth a reward? Does anyone know what this Lin Fei did to deserve a bounty from the Purgatory sect? Someone asked curiously. The Purgatory sect really suffered a great loss this time. I heard that tens of thousands of heaven immortals and hundreds of profound immortals died in the immortal wild city. It can't be. Is this kid that powerful? Are you stupid? If he wasn't powerful, why would the Purgatory sect put a bounty on him? He's just too powerful. F***CK, what do you know? I'm afraid you don't know that the Purgatory sect is in trouble now. I heard that when they were chasing after Lin Fei, they killed a disciple of the Elysium Academy. Right now, the law enforcement disciples of the Elysium Academy are at the headquarters of the Purgatory sect. Haha, the Purgatory sect is in trouble. They are going to suffer. They even dared to kill a disciple of the Elysium Academy. I can't help but admire them. Outside the crowd, a certain person wearing a black robe and a cloak silently withdrew his gaze. The corners of his mouth curled up in a pleased expression. This bro's profile picture has been made like this. That saves me quite a bit of trouble, lest I get remembered. But isn't this gossip a little too ridiculous? This bro has only killed 1,000 heavenly immortals. When did it reach 10,000? This is ridiculous. The person who appeared was none other than Lin Fei, who had come all the way here. In the mountain range, after impersonating a golden immortal and scamming them, Lin Fei left the mountain range and headed straight for the Holy Heaven Academy. After some consideration, Lin Fei decided to head to the Holy Heaven Academy. He needed supreme-grade materials and immortal pills to advance his god-fiend body from the second transformation to the third transformation. He planned to head to the Holy Heaven Academy and sweep the autumn breeze. Falling Jade City wasn't the only way to the Holy Heaven Academy. Why did Lin Fei come here? He was here to understand the situation. If possible, he wanted to take advantage of the situation. I'm afraid the Holy Heaven Academy's law enforcement team is enough to make the Purgatory sect suffer. Lin Fei thought to himself, they won't find trouble with me during this period of time. I can finally relax. Lin Fei was a vengeful person. Even though 2 golden immortal experts had taken the blame, Lin Fei was still not satisfied. He changed his route midway and prepared to make a killing in Falling Jade City. There was really nothing for him to worry about in a border city like Falling Jade City. Coupled with his understanding along the way, the experts in Falling Jade City were only a few golden immortals. After the second transformation of the god-fiend body, Lin Fei had nothing to worry about. He was prepared to give the Purgatory sect an unforgettable gift after eating and drinking to his heart's content. Make way, make way! Not long after Lin Fei left, another group of people rushed over and moved to the side. Isn't that Falling Jade City's Deputy City Lord Qiao Tian? Even though the voice was weak, Lin Fei heard it all with his golden immortal spirit sense. A Deputy City Lord rushing out in such a hurry. Could it be for something important? Lin Fei stopped in his tracks and pondered. Hua hua hua. Lin Fei's goal was to plunder, so he didn't take this matter to heart. However, when he was eating in a restaurant, he saw a group of 100 people rushing away. I don't know what's going on recently, but the people from the city, Lord Manor, have been acting all mysterious. I wonder what they're up to. Who said it wasn't? Did you see that? It was the guards who just passed by. I'm not sure what's going to happen. Could it be to arrest that Lin Fei? At the next table, 2 people were drinking and discussing. Lin Fei drank a mouthful of wine, put down the cup, and his eyes lit up. He called over the waiter, put down the immortal stone, and turned to go downstairs. Make the nearby area a forbidden area. Anyone who trespasses, no matter who, will be punished. There's no need to report. Kill them all. Tens of millions of miles away from falling Jade City, near a mountain, a black mass of heads surged with killing intent. Xiao Tian had a grave expression on his face as he pointed to a mountain not far away and gave the order to the guards. Hua, hua, hua. The teams began to surround a mountain. Lord City Lord, our Jade Fall City's experts have all come out and gathered here. Xiao Tian tore open the void and appeared on a nearby mountain. We've already sealed this area and given the order to kill. At this moment, there were several dignified immortals gathered on the mountain. Each of them was as dazzling as the sun. What happened today must not be leaked. Otherwise, it will be a great disaster for our purgatory sect. City Lord Qinguan was dressed like a scholar. His elegant face had a rare, cold expression. City Lord, this mountain is ordinary. Why did the higher-ups want us to seal this area? Xiao Tian asked in a low voice. This question was the same question that the other immortals had. They subconsciously pricked up their ears. Qinguan looked excited. There's an immortal beast living on this mountain. It's rare in the world, and there are less than 10 of it in the entire heaven realm. Now that our purgatory sect has offended the Elysium Academy, as long as we capture this beast, the Elysium Academy will not be able to do anything. Tonight, we must capture this beast. So important. At first, they were all kept in the dark and didn't know the importance of this beast. The Elysium Academy was incomparably powerful, but they didn't fear them with this beast. This made them impatient to see the true face of this beast. On the other hand, if they could capture this beast, they would definitely make a great contribution. If they were lucky, they might not have to stay here anymore. It was not impossible for them to go to the headquarters of the Purgatory sect. Little did they know, their words were all heard by Lin Fei. Chapter 756. Night fell, shrouding the vast land. At the same time, it enveloped the entire mountaintop in this area. I wonder what kind of immortal beast it is for them to be so moved. Lin Fei had been hiding in the divine fire space and had never come out. However, he could see that everyone was busy searching for something on the mountaintop. If not for Lin Fei's suspicions, he would have missed out on a great opportunity. How could Lin Fei not be tempted by a treasure that could be counted on one's fingers? The more Purgatory Gate wanted it, the more they wouldn't let them succeed. As long as the enforcer disciples of Divine Sky Academy were around, Purgatory Gate would have a headache and lose face. There was no way Lin Fei would let them get what they wanted. Since he had come across such a good thing, it would belong to him. Unknowingly, Lin Fei himself had become domineering. In reality, it was the Emperor's aura left behind by the Holy Mother that was constantly changing Lin Fei. An emperor saw the world as his own. Everything was an emperor, and others had no right to interfere. Lin Fei was completely unaware of his own changes. In his subconscious, he treated everything as his own. How could he let it fall into the hands of others? Hence this scene. It's out. Quick, catch it. Don't let it escape. The mountain was brightly lit, and the sound of something piercing through the air could be heard. Look, stop it. Oh no, it's burrowing into the ground. Quick, chase it. Voices could be heard on the mountain. Those who didn't know what was going on might think that something had happened. On another mountain, 3 city lords, 1 in charge and 2 in charge, had grave expressions as they paid attention to the progress, wanting to catch the immortal beast. They didn't need to take action personally. They just had to watch over the situation to prevent any accidents from happening. This fellow is too cunning. It's running towards the east. All sorts of voices could be heard on the mountain. City Lord, there's no need to worry. We've already set up a formation to seal off this place. I believe that the immortal beast is very powerful. If it wants to leave, it will be extremely difficult. Sooner or later, it will fall into our hands. This was a meritorious deed for them. Although they were expressionless, they wwere actually very worried. They really couldn't stay in a small place like Bilio City. If they could do meritorious deeds, at least they wouldn't have to stay in this place. Tell them to speed up, lest any undue delay brings trouble. Qingguan, on the other hand, was not so calm. This place was not far from Biluo City. If there were any experts passing by, it would definitely be troublesome. He had to seize the item as soon as possible. Otherwise, he would always be on tenterhooks. Damn, they're so careful, and even set up a formation to seal the space. Initially, Lin Fei was prepared to take action at night. However, he did not expect them to be so cautious and set up a spatial sealing formation. Furthermore, it was augmented by 3 golden immortal experts. I can't go in personally. I won't have the time to catch the immortal beast. Lin Fei did not believe that a second god-fiend body could kill them. At most, they could not kill him. Suddenly, he had a flash of inspiration. How could I have forgotten about this? Come out, Hairball. Hairball had been tortured badly by little Lolita in the lower realm, so she decisively went to the heavenly realm. These days, Hairball had been eating well. Her fur was bright and extraordinary. Lin Fei gave a simple explanation and asked Hairball to catch the immortal beast, causing the purgatory sect to be busy for nothing. Hairball ignored the space sealing formation. Hairball was getting smarter by the day, appearing like a wisp of smoke. That space lock formation that could even stop a golden immortal expert just passed right through it as though it didn't exist. I didn't expect the formation set up by a golden immortal expert to be unable to stop Hairball. This foodie is finally capable. Lin Fei heaved a sigh of relief. In the lower realm, Hairball ignored all array formations and often went out in search of delicious food. Lin Fei was not sure if the array formations of the upper realm could move freely. After eating so many heaven immortals, Hairball did not change much. Lin Fei could not help but wonder how much this bottomless pit would eat. Not good. Something has broken in. Chase it out. Soon, cries of alarm came from the mountaintop in the night. What happened? Xiao Tian had been paying attention and naturally knew what was going on. Capture it. An unknown little immortal beast barged into the mountaintop. It was filled with spirituality, so Xiao Tian ordered to capture it. On the mountaintop, the chickens were flying and the eggs were smashed. It was a mess. Oh no, that fellow ate the immortal beast. With a scream, something unexpected happened. It should have happened right in front of his eyes. A rare immortal beast was eaten. The 3 city lords spat out a mouthful of blood. They had prepared for a long time for this immortal beast. It took them a long time just to gather information. They only made their move recently and were prepared to capture it by force. But now a rare immortal beast was eaten? What was going on? There's a space sealing array here. We have to find that fellow, even if we have to dig 3 feet into the ground. Fortunately, someone reminded them, which made them heave a sigh of relief. That's right, they had a space sealing array here, so they were not worried that anything would happen. How could an immortal beast escape? What is Hairball doing? Why is she not back yet? Within the divine flame space, Lin Fei was a little worried that the glutton would be greedy again. The 3 golden immortal powerhouses were not cabbages. Once they made a move, it would be troublesome. Just as he was worrying, Hairball came out. Lin Fei took control of the divine flame space, sucked Hairball in, and left in a flash. If he did not leave now, when would he leave? Lin Fei's movements were very fast. Coupled with the fact that they were all focused on the mountaintop, they ignored the sounds around them and did not notice him. Hairball, you are really amazing. Lin Fei praised Hairball first, who asked him to know Hairball's character. This fellow loved to listen to praises. Once Lin Fei praised, Hairball squinted her eyes and had a look of enjoyment on her face. It made one wonder if this fellow was a human or a beast. Only after praising it did Furball spit out a ball of furry stuff. A mouse? No, it should be a golden mouse. Hairball's action told Lin Fei that this fellow was really cunning. There was nothing he couldn't do. He nearly let it escape. Squeak, the golden mouse, was the size of a fist and had shifty eyes. It scuttled out like a wisp of smoke. It was really daring. Hua, hua, the divine flames swept over, and many of the golden mouse's fur were burned. A look of fear appeared in its eyes, and it did not dare to take another step out. Hairball was angry. Good fellow, you were caught by me, and you still dared to escape. She rushed up and beat the golden mouse until it did not dare to move. This mouse, why does it look so dirty? There are only a few of them in the heaven realm. Lin Fei wondered if Hairball caught the wrong one or if he had been tricked. Furball was adamant that the one they were chasing was this guy and that they had not captured the wrong person. Lin Fei slapped his forehead. How could I forget about the system? I just need to scan it, and I will know what it is. After the system was updated, there were many more functions. Lin Fei opened the system and scanned the golden mouse, waiting for the search result. Ding! Congratulations, player! Discovered one in 10,000 treasure-seeking mouse. Ding! Treasure-seeking mouse, born with treasures, will eat all treasures. It is cunning and timid, good at finding treasures. Lin Fei grabbed the treasure-seeking mouse. Treasure-seeking mouse? Is it true? The system gave the result. Lin Fei was still very surprised. In the entire heaven realm, there were only a few treasure-seeking mice. From the storage ring, Lin Fei took out 2 treasures. Come here and see which treasure is more valuable. As soon as Lin Fei let go, the treasure-seeking rat's eyes spun, and it rushed forward to grab one of the treasures. Crunching sounds could be heard as it gobbled up the treasures in front of Lin Fei. Then it raised its head and hugged its paws. Damn, it's still acting cute. As soon as Lin Fei finished speaking, Furball charged over and sent the treasure-seeking rat flying with a slap. Hairball was very smart. This fellow was her captive, but it still dared to show off in front of her master. She had no choice but to hit it. The number 1 pet belonged to Hairball. Lin Fei sweated. Hairball was really violent. Hey, this was spat out by the treasure-seeking mouse. Lin Fei reached out and grabbed it. When he saw the material it spat out, he couldn't help but be shocked. So fierce! As everyone knew, once the materials were refined and fused, it was very difficult to distinguish them. Although the treasure Lin Fei took out just now was not considered much, it was not easy to distinguish them. In the end, the treasure-seeking mouse did it. It seemed that it was the most expensive kind. How could he not be surprised? I'm rich. This time I'm really rich. Lin Fei's eyes lit up. He grabbed Hairball back. In the future, it will be your little brother. You can't bully it as you wish. On the top of the mountain. At this time, they were still searching for the whereabouts of the immortal beast. However, no matter how they searched, the immortal beast seemed to have disappeared. There was no trace of it. In such a big mountain, they could not see its figure. The treasure-seeking mouse must be here. Even if we have to dig 3 feet underground, we must find the treasure-seeking mouse. Qin Guan roared. Treasure-seeking mouse, oh my God! The remaining 2 city lords were shocked. The only thing they knew was that this immortal beast was extraordinary. In the heaven realm, there were only a few of them. However, they never thought that it would be the treasure-seeking mouse. Such a heaven-defying existence. Qin Guan was already gritting his teeth. If the treasure-seeking mouse was lost in his hands, it would be impossible to find it again. The treasure-seeking mouse was naturally timid. Once it was in danger, the next time it appeared would be at least a few hundred years, or at most 1,000 years. The treasure-seeking mouse was precious not because of its ability to find treasures. After all, immortal beasts like the treasure-seeking mouse existed in the heaven realm. The only important thing about the treasure-seeking mouse was that it had an innate magical power that could restore the best quality materials. The best quality materials could be called the best quality. It was a pity that many of the best quality materials had all been refined and no longer existed. The treasure-seeking mouse could restore the best quality materials. Some ancient immortal weapons in secret realms contained the best quality materials. The treasure-seeking mouse became more and more important. In addition, the treasure-seeking mouse ate treasures. After eating immortal weapons and treasures for a long time, it could produce the best quality materials. Chapter 757. By Luo City, I'm back. Lin Fei snatched the treasure-seeking rat and ran all the way back. His eyes lit up when he saw the brightly lit Bai Luo City under the night sky. The great opportunity treasure-seeking rat fell into his hands and needed to be tamed for the time being. With the violent and foodie hairball around, Lin Fei was not worried about taming the treasure-seeking rat at all. By the way, Lin Fei had already named the treasure-seeking rat Xiao Jin. Who asked it to be called other than Xiao Jin? Lin Fei had always given simple names. After snatching the treasure-seeking rat, Lin Fei did not intend to let them go so easily. He took it as interest. If they found out, they would probably vomit blood. All the major forces in the heavenly realm were tempted by the treasure-seeking rat. Perhaps only Lin Fei dared to treat it as interest. The 3 golden immortals are outside, and Bai Luo City's defense is weak. Serves you right for making a fortune. Lin Fei's eyes flashed fiercely. He covered his face with a cloak and went straight to Bai Luo City. The 3 golden immortals were not there. How could Lin Fei miss this opportunity? Without the golden immortals, no one in Bai Luo City could stop him. Bai Luo City, City Lord Mansion. In order to successfully capture the treasure-seeking rat, Charles and the others had transferred the elites of Bai Luo City away. There were only a few guards left. Bai Luo City belonged to the Purgatory sect. Even if the defense was weak, no one dared to touch the Purgatory sect unless they were willing to be hunted to the ends of the earth. Tonight, the City Lord Mansion was destined to be weak. The 3 city lords are all out. I wonder what happened. 2 profound immortals regarding the City Lord Mansion. To them, no one had ever dared to barge into the City Lord Mansion of Falling Jade City. It's none of our business. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a powerful divine sense descended from the sky like a roaring, ferocious beast. Hua! 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 Whether it was the patrolling immortals or the guarding mysterious immortal experts, they were all stunned by the sudden, powerful divine sense. Puff! 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 The Sky Immortal Patrol member fainted on the spot. The invading divine sense was too strong. Just as they released their divine senses, they were crushed into pieces. Their divine senses were severely injured compared to their physical bodies. Even more disastrous. Who are you? This is the Purgatory sect's Jade Fall City. The expressions of these Xian immortals changed drastically. The ferocious consciousness of a ferocious beast roared and suppressed them, making it difficult for them to move an inch. I really don't care what the Purgatory sect is. Lin Fei descended from the sky. His tyrannical divine sense crushed down, and his divinity oppressed them. Return, daring to swagger in like this. Lin Fei relied on his tyrannical divine sense to crush them. The heaven and earth smelt flew out and turned into a bottomless pit, sucking them in one by one, including the heaven immortal patrolling guards who had fainted. Just like that, Lin Fei killed his way in. Activating his powerful consciousness, he crushed everything in his way. The heaven and earth smelt, sucked them in continuously. This was such a great resource, and he couldn't let it go. The defense of the city Lord residence was weak, and Lin Fei forced his way in. The Xian immortal experts guarding the place were almost all wiped out by Lin Fei, and all of them fell into the heaven and earth smelt, becoming resources to raise his strength. Finally found it. The city lord residence wasn't big. Under Hairball's threat, Lin Fei found the treasury as he had wished. Lin Fei wasn't worried about such a door that was covered in seals. Hairball used devouring heaven and earth to enter the treasury, not leaving any traces behind. I've struck it rich. The treasury was huge, and there were mountains of resources. Lin Fei was drooling. To a guy like him, who didn't have much wealth, the treasury of Jadefall City was a huge treasure trove, especially the cultivation resources inside. Anyone who saw it would be envious. Return, Lin Fei didn't care what it was, and he kept it in the divine flame space. Hairball didn't stand on ceremony either. She used devouring heaven and earth, specifically targeting the good resources. This guy knew what was good and what wasn't. In addition, the treasure-seeking mouse, Little Gold, had shifty-eyed look. When it saw such a huge treasure, it immediately hugged a glowing immortal sword on the spot and started to chew on it. Its appearance was extremely comical. Treasure-seeking mouse, Little Gold, had extraordinary teeth. The tough immortal sword was eaten in a few bites, and anyone who saw it would feel heartache. Did I bring back another glutton? Seeing that treasure-seeking mouse didn't look full, Lin Fei couldn't help but feel suspicious. Continue acting. Lin Fei used the divine flame space to keep the resources. The huge treasury quickly became empty. The two bandits were even scarier than a mouse. It's empty so quickly. After collecting everything, Lin Fei realized that the treasury was empty. There was nothing left to collect. Squeak! Just as Lin Fei was about to leave, treasure-seeking mouse ran to a place in the treasury and used its teeth to make a hole. It turned out that there was another world inside the treasury. Damn, top-grade materials. After opening the small treasury, he saw that the space inside was very small, and the shelves were filled with top-grade materials. Ha ha ha! It didn't take much effort to get them. They're God-fiend body, third revolution materials here. The system immediately sent a notification. Lin Fei waved his hand and collected all the materials, leaving behind the treasure-seeking mouse, Xiao Jin. After all, he was the one who found these things. As expected of a treasure-seeking mouse, it can even find it when it's hidden so well. Lin Fei reached out and grabbed treasure-seeking mouse, in case it slipped away while he wasn't paying attention. That would be too much of a pity. It wouldn't be easy to find it again. I've searched the entire treasury. I think you guys feel heartache. Lin Fei came out of the treasury and scanned the entire city, Lord Mansion, with his powerful divine sense. Suddenly he frowned. There's a dungeon below. He didn't have a good impression of the Purgatory sect from the beginning. The discovery of the dungeon was definitely an enemy of the Purgatory sect. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Lin Fei simply went down and released all the people in the dungeon, letting them wreak havoc. Finally, he set the place on fire and left. At this moment, the city, Lord Mansion of Falling City, had turned into a sea of fire. The situation could be seen from far away. Lin Fei didn't know that the prisoners he released were all fiendish people. As soon as they came out, they realized that there was no golden immortal presiding over the entire Falling City. Hence, a riot began, affecting the entire Falling City. As the main culprit, Lin Fei didn't know at all. His next target was the Holy Heaven Academy. He wouldn't pay attention to the matters of Falling City. At the same time, the 3 city lords, who were digging 3 feet into the ground to find the treasure-seeking mouse, frowned and paid attention to every movement below. City Lord, something bad has happened. Chapter 758. P.S. Thanks to Mingming44 for the tip. What happened? Why are you so flustered? What do you want everyone to think of our Purgatory sect? City, Lord Qin Guan was already in a bad mood. It was not easy to find such a heaven-defying existence like the treasure-seeking mouse, but it disappeared without a trace. How could he not be angry? It could be said that Qin Guan was currently filled with anger and had no way to vent it. Seeing the Xian Immortal subordinates come, he immediately used them as a punching bag and scolded them. This Xian Immortal was from Jadefall City and had come to inform the city lord of the situation. But this time he was immediately scolded in the face. The Xian Immortal's heart was filled with bitterness. It was even more bitter than having to suffer in silence. He didn't dare to speak. The city lord was currently in a fit of anger. If he interfered, This Xian immortal was worried that he would be beaten to death or heavily injured. Most importantly, he didn't even have the chance to speak. Qin Guan's scolding lasted for an entire cup of tea's time before he finally stopped. Qiao Wufa didn't dare to speak when the city lord was angry, so he didn't want to be hated. Only when the scolding was over did he ask, "Didn't I tell you to stay in the city, Lord Manor? Why did you have to come personally? Could it be that there's something you can't handle?" In truth, Qiao Wufa wasn't in a good mood either. He had been hoping to contribute greatly, and the city lord would eat the meat while they drank the soup. It was better than staying here. But now that the treasure-seeking mouse had disappeared, how could Qiao Wufa be in a good mood? Naturally, his tone wasn't good when he reprimanded this Xian immortal. The Xian immortal cried, "Lord, our city Lord Manor was attacked by a golden immortal expert. Not only did he kill us Xian immortals, he even captured everyone in the manor and released all the prisoners in the prison. The entire Jade Fall city is in chaos now." Pupiu, Qin Guan coughed out a mouthful of blood, and he couldn't even stand properly. How is this possible? Qin Guan couldn't believe it. Someone dared to attack Jade Fall City? It was like a slap to the face. This was the territory of the Purgatory sect. Qiao Wufa hurried over to support him. "Lord, we should go back now, especially the treasury. Nothing must happen." Hearing this, Qin Guan took a deep breath and said, "You stay here. I will go back personally." A riot in Jade Fall City wasn't scary at all. At the very most, they would be reprimanded by their superiors for failing their duties. However, if the top-tier materials they were preparing to hand over were snatched away, their days of darkness would surely arrive. Charles was unable to stay behind to take charge of this place. For some reason, he felt uneasy. A bad feeling appeared in his mind. Please don't be like that. Qin Guan was a golden immortal expert. He left behind his Xian immortal subordinates and rushed back alone. Kill them all. Show the Purgatory sect how powerful we are. That's right, rob them clean. When the brightly lit Jade Fall City appeared in their sights, in truth, the entire city was enveloped in a sea of flames, especially the city Lord Manor. Qin Guan, the city lord, almost fell from the sky. How could this be? The huge Jade Fall City, as a group of villains returned to freedom, they started a riot. More than half of Jade Fall City was in chaos, causing many people to join in. Qin Guan was filled with regret. If he had known this would happen, he would have killed those people back then. It seemed that after today, Jade Fall City's vitality would be greatly damaged. Treasury. Qin Guan turned into a ray of light and rushed towards the treasury of the city, Lord Manor. If the treasury was lost, it would be a huge problem. Boom, boom, boom. Wherever the fury of a golden immortal passed, the bodies of those who caused trouble would explode. They couldn't be more dead. The ground was littered with corpses, scattered everywhere. Everyone run. The city lord is back. The voices stopped abruptly. Qin Guan killed his way over. No one below Golden Immortal was his match. When the villains heard that the city lord was back, they immediately scattered, courting death. The city Lord Manor had long been reduced to ruins. The huge treasury was right in front of them. However, at this moment, there was a group of villains who broke through a large number of restrictions, trying to break into the treasury. Die. Qin Guan was furious. He slapped down, and the terrifying might crush them all into pieces. The smell of blood was extremely thick. The treasury is not something you can touch. Seeing that the treasury was undamaged, Qin Guan finally let out a long sigh of relief. The restrictions of the treasury were set up by the city Lord Manor. They were all set up by the 3 city lords. Once they were broken, they would sense it. Fortunately, the treasury hadn't been destroyed yet. Pass down my order. Villains who took the opportunity to cause trouble will be killed without mercy. Not long after Qin Guan returned, a group of elites came back and gave the order without hesitation. In the huge Jade Falls city, there was another massacre. As the city lord, Qin Guan was in a bad mood and allowed them to do as they pleased. Treasure-seeking mouse could not be found. The city lord manor was burned down one after another, causing him to have a bad feeling in his heart. Usually, there would be one of the 3 city lords overseeing the city lord manor to prevent experts from coming. Tonight, they were killed and they were resentful. The massacre only ended in the morning. In this massacre, who knew how many people were killed? The whole street was filled with corpses and rivers of blood. There were countless immortals who participated in the riot. City Lord, treasure-seeking mouse, should have been taken away. Xiao Wufa returned with a dark face. The huge mountain was cleaned up countless times, but there was still no trace of treasure-seeking mouse. Hence, Xiao Wufa returned. The situation in Jade Falls City was even worse. Let them continue searching. Qin Guan believed that treasure-seeking mouse could not escape from the formation he had set up. Xiao Wufa sighed and passed down the order. City Lord, the people who came seized the opportunity while we were not here and released the villains in the prison. I suggest that we check the treasury to avoid any losses. The burning of the city lord manor was a small matter, and so was the riot in the city. The supreme grade materials in the treasure vault were the most important thing. They could not afford to make any mistakes, especially since the treasure-seeking mouse was shrouded in a shadow. If any of the supreme grade materials in the treasure vault were lost, the 3 of them would really be finished. Qin Guan, the city lord, was shocked. Wufa, you are right, we should check. That way, everyone can be at ease. Layer by layer, the restrictions of the formation were opened. Crack, the door of the treasury opened. The moment the door opened, a huge and empty treasury appeared in front of them. Puffed. Qin Guan, the golden immortal, spat out a mouthful of blood and rushed in. When he saw the big hole, he collapsed on the ground. Damn it, who did this? This day was destined to be a dark day for Jade Falls City. Lin Fei was completely unaware of what happened in Jade Falls City. At this moment, Lin Fei was riding on a dragon horse, leisurely on his way to Holy Heaven's Academy. The dragon horse that he took from others was now tamed by Lin Fei. With the help of godly fire, taming a dragon horse was extremely easy. After leaving Jade Falls City, Lin Fei returned to the right path. For him, Jade Falls City was a place to collect interest, and he was very satisfied with the interest. Whoosh! When it was almost noon, Lin Fei saw a large group of people flying in the sky. Squinting his eyes, he could clearly see that they were all disciples of Purgatory Sect. Did you guys hear? Jade Falls City under Purgatory Sect was robbed by experts. Not only did they destroy the city Lord Manor, they even stole the treasury. Purgatory Sect is furious. This news spread early in the morning. I have a relative who does business in Jade Falls City. Last night, the city Lord Manor was targeted by a late golden immortal expert. The great Purgatory Sect, I really don't know what kind of bad luck they have recently. First, they caught a heavenly immortal brat and suffered a huge setback. Then, the Holy Heavens Academy's enforcement team came knocking on their door. Now, Jade Falls City is in trouble again. Do you guys think it's that heavenly immortal brat? You really think highly of him. He is a golden immortal expert. When they reached the next city, Lin Fei heard the discussions of the passers-by at the entrance. He couldn't help but be shocked, then he smiled. That group of villains is really something. They actually brought disaster to Jade Falls City. Lin Fei rubbed his chin. Seems like after I went to Heaven Realm, I became a disaster. Even Purgatory Sect was harmed to this extent. Ha ha ha! Hearing the discussions of the passers-by, Lin Fei was relieved. No matter what, they wouldn't suspect him. It was equivalent to removing one suspect. As for the same name, Lin Fei didn't have anything to worry about. On Earth, there were countless people with the same name. In Heaven Realm, there were many people with the same name. He could really capture them one by one and interrogate them. 2 days later, Lin Fei was already far away from Purgatory Sect's Jade Fall City. He passed by many cities and wasn't in a hurry. And today at noon the sun shone brightly. Lin Fei noticed that the big, white cocoon that had been motionless all this time was moving. It seemed like it was about to hatch. From the pipeline, he turned into the forest that covered the sky. Only when he reached a safe location did he stop and keep the flood dragon horse into the divine flame dimension. Back in the valley, when the flood dragon snake was sucked dry, this big white cocoon appeared. Lin Fei thought that it would take a long time to hatch. He didn't expect it to be so fast. At this moment, the big white cocoon was filled with boundless vitality. Obviously, if it could absorb the essence of the flood dragon snake, how could it be an ordinary existence? Walla walla, countless cracks appeared on the surface of the big white cocoon. Like a spider web, they spread all over the cocoon. Roar! The big white cocoon was torn into pieces. Fragments flew everywhere and instantly melted under the divine flame. In front of Lin Fei, a human-shaped beast appeared. It emitted a cold aura, as if he was facing a poisonous snake. It inherited the characteristics of the flood dragon snake. Chapter 759. P.S. Thank you to young Master Xie Huaxia for your tip. My lord. Just as Lin Fei was digesting the information, the humanoid ferocious beast with a cold aura knelt down on one knee before Lin Fei. The ground cracked, and dust flew into the air as the ground split apart. A vast aura of faith flew out from the humanoid ferocious beast and landed on Lin Fei's body, completely absorbing it. Lin Fei was shocked. Although he knew long ago that he could breed a certain species by fusing with the essence of the Holy Mother, he never thought that he could breed such a powerful species. The humanoid beast in front of him was full of hostility and violence. It made people feel shocked and powerless. Without making a move, the violent aura alone could suppress a large number of people. Lin Fei was sure that this humanoid beast was the most terrifying existence he had ever seen, not counting the powerful beasts in the mountains. Do you have a name? Lin Fei calmed himself down. The humanoid beast in front of him, based on his intuition, could reach the level of a Xian immortal. My lord, my name is Snake Demon. After absorbing the Jiao snake, it really inherited everything of the Jiao snake. You inherited the abilities of the Jiao snake? Lin Fei asked. This was the strongest existence he had hatched, so he had to take it seriously. Since he ascended to the heaven realm, Lin Fei had never paid much attention to the mutated primordial spirit. He couldn't adapt to it. After experiencing some things these days, Lin Fei calmly accepted the mutated primordial spirit. In front of the humanoid beast, Lin Fei seemed to see a wide road for him to travel. When the time came, he could rely on this to stand in the heaven realm. My lord, I have all the abilities of the Jiao snake. At the same time, I have inherited the defensive ability of invulnerability. Even a golden immortal can't suppress me. Snake Demon said word by word. Its tone was full of disdain for golden immortals. The Jiao snake was very powerful. Lin Fei still remembered that Snake Demon had inherited everything of the Jiao snake. It was very surprising. One Snake Demon was already so powerful. If 10 of them came, wouldn't it be terrifying? Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Let's go somewhere else. Lin Fei moved to another place, a mountain stronghold where villains gathered. The heaven realm was the same as the lower realm. There was no lack of such mountain strongholds. The only difference was that their strength was different. Lin Fei sucked in a breath of cold air when he heard the terrified voices coming from the stronghold. There weren't many people in this village, only a few hundred immortals. The strongest was at the Xian immortal realm, while the rest were mostly at the Sky immortal realm. Just like that, the devil snake slaughtered his way in. He had inherited the flood serpent's powerful defense and swept through the entire stronghold. Not even the heavenly immortals could last a single move against him. No wonder the insect queen is said to be the most powerful species in the universe. A snake demon that swallowed the essence of a flood dragon is already so powerful. Lin Fei watched as the demonic snake killed the chieftain of the mountain stronghold in 3 breaths of time. It devoured his flesh and blood, displaying an incomparably tyrannical display. A stronghold with a few hundred people was swept away just like that. Master, the flesh and blood of these sky immortals and Xian immortals contain a large amount of life energy. It's a great supplement for me. The devil snake's fishy smell made people shudder. As long as I keep killing them, I can continue to improve my strength. Lin Fei was shocked. You can still improve your strength? The saintess of the lower realm could at most hatch a species with a certain combat strength. Lin Fei had never heard of them being able to improve their strength. If they really improved, the battlefield in the lower realm would not be as simple as before. It would definitely be a nightmare. I knew it. Devouring them can improve my strength. If I continue to improve, one day I can evolve into a flood dragon. The devil snake thought for a moment. Lin Fei did not ask any more questions and turned to search his memory. It should be the union between me and the saintess. There should be a change. Lin Fei thought this is good too. I can improve my subordinates. Maybe they can become an immortal lord or an immortal emperor in the future. Lin Fei was relieved and his interest was piqued. The water of the heavenly realm was too deep. It was not easy to mix in. My lord, my memories tell me that as long as my lord hatches another one of my brothers in the future, we will be able to wield the supreme formation and sweep through the myriad worlds. The snake demon's cold eyes were bursting with a strong sense of aggression. Impudent, this is the heavenly realm. Put away your desires. Lin Fei said coldly. If he continued to speak and was heard by the Almighty, wouldn't he be unlucky? This subordinate deserves to die. The devil snake knelt on the ground again, his body trembling. Lin Fei was really afraid that this guy would become bold and do something he shouldn't do. He was very clear that the Almighty of the heavenly realm hated the insect queen. Once it appeared, it would definitely be obliterated in the cradle. From today onwards, find a place to recruit people and form your own force. Lin Fei was not prepared to keep the devil snake by his side. In the situation where I don't order you to, you can only expand your force and improve your strength. This was the only way Lin Fei could think of at the moment. Bringing the devil snake by his side was not a good thing, especially when he went to the Holy Heavens Academy. If he was discovered, it would definitely be bad. It would be better to leave him alone and create a force for himself. The more Lin Fei thought about it, the more he felt that he had done the right thing. Master, is it this kind of stronghold? The devil snake licked his lips. Yes. Lin Fei explained simply, you only have one goal, to constantly expand your force and accumulate strength. Yes. Lin Fei believed that the devil snake would not dare to go against his words. Starting as a bandit was undoubtedly the best choice. In the heavenly realm, there were no bandits in the heavenly realm. If he built a stronghold, who would care? Hoo-hoo! The devil snake was sent away by Lin Fei just like that. Lin Fei did not know that he had released a sinful seed that took root in the heavenly realm and absorbed everything in it. The devil snake has inherited everything from the flood serpent. It is good at water magic and has strong fighting power. It should not be a problem unless it meets a powerful person. Lin Fei retracted his gaze. In the future, I will have to hatch a powerful species to cooperate with each other. He had just searched his memory. There were 11 seeds similar to the devil snake. Together, they were the 12 generals under the insect mother. The devil snake was one of the generals. Once it was hatched, it had the fighting power of a Xian immortal. Moreover, it could be promoted. Lin Fei finally understood why the Holy Mother wanted to kill her way into the heaven realm. With the 12 generals, she could take root in the heaven realm. Her strength would only become stronger and stronger. Once she matured, she would be the most terrifying. If the 12 immortal emperors appeared, wouldn't the entire heaven realm be scared witless? Chapter 760. Whoosh, 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 one of the 12 generals, the serpent demon, flew for God knows how far, passing by city after city. Humph! I, the serpent demon, was the first to come out of the 12 generals. I'll become the leader of the 12 generals and help my lord expand his territory. The serpent demon's eyes glinted coldly, thinking of an idea that only he knew. My lord wants me to find a stronghold to establish my first force, so I'll find a strong stronghold to start with. The serpent demon thought, with my innate magical powers as a flood serpent, who would mere immortals be afraid of? In the future, my lord will conquer everywhere. With this thought, the serpent demon confirmed his goal. Just like that, the serpent demon picked an ideal place to set up his base. Did you hear? The hurricane stronghold robbed a caravan not long ago. They're insufferably arrogant. 2 guards were chatting with a small merchant group on the official road. I heard that there are more than 1,000 people in the Hurricane Mountain Gang, and there are more than 30 Xian immortals. They know a battle formation, and when it is used, it is almost comparable to the strength of an early golden immortal. This time, after robbing a big chamber of commerce, many villains heard about it and are preparing to join the Hurricane Mountain Gang. A cold and gloomy aura suddenly appeared beside the 2 of them. It was so cold that their expressions changed drastically. Soon after, they were unable to move. Tell me about the hurricane stronghold. The serpent demon took them away, one in each hand, its violent aura suppressing them and immobilizing them. I'll talk. The 2 guards were scared out of their wits. They were mere sky immortals, so how could they withstand such an aura? It was already good enough that they weren't scared out of their wits. The serpent demon had been looking for a suitable stronghold, but none had caught his eye. Those that didn't catch his eye were razed to the ground and turned into food for the serpent demon. When it passed by the sky and heard the voice, the serpent demon took action. Someone who could fight against an early-stage golden immortal was instantly interested. Crack! After the 2 hurriedly finished speaking, the serpent demon sucked them dry, tossed them to the ground, and flew away. Hurricane Stronghold, it's you. Even though the Hurricane Stronghold didn't have many people, the serpent demon had taken a fancy to its potential. A golden immortal stronghold, like that, was naturally powerless, but a stronghold controlled by a profound immortal was no problem. Death Valley, the harsh climate and environment, coupled with the poisonous miasma that even immortals had to avoid, made this place a dangerous place. A forbidden land was naturally a barren land. To outsiders, Death Valley was a desolate place filled with poisonous miasma. Few people would come here. However, this place became Hurricane Mountain Stronghold's main camp. Formations were laid down to control the poisonous miasma, turning this place into a place of its own, a land of great flames. Hurricane Mountain Stronghold was currently celebrating. 2 days ago, they made a move and made a big deal. They plundered a chamber of commerce's resources and brought back many beauties. Thus, the 1,000 people of the Hurricane Mountain Stronghold were cheering wildly. Aside from the guards, the rest of the people were celebrating. The environment of Death Valley was very bad. Not only were there astral winds, but there was also a poisonous miasma. The people of the Hurricane Mountain Stronghold were not worried that someone would kill their way in. Everyone, let's have a toast. Hurricane Mountain Stronghold. In the middle of an open space, tables were arranged in a row. The fragrance of wine and roasted immortal beasts filled the air, causing one's appetite to whet. Cheers! Everyone picked up their bowls and finished the wine in one gulp. All of them were sky immortals. At a glance, it was a spectacular sight. In the center of the open space, on both sides, the sky immortal bandits looked at the seated Xian immortals with envy and jealousy. These 2 rows were the main force of the Hurricane Mountain Stronghold. There were a total of 28 profound immortals, and every one of them had great authority in the stronghold. "Boss, we've really struck it rich this time. I didn't expect them to bring so many resources. Once we make a move, our Hurricane Mountain stronghold can immediately recruit troops and buy horses to increase our strength," and Profound Immortal shouted with a fierce expression. "Once we get troops, the first thing we'll do is kill those old fools from the Blackwind Mountain stronghold," another Profound Immortal said. "The Blackwind Mountain stronghold has ruined our plans time and again. This time, we'll destroy them no matter what." These Profound Immortals spoke one after another, all of them exterminating or killing people. Their bodies were filled with killing intent, and it was unknown how many people they had killed. Sitting in the middle was a bald man. His upper body was bare, and above his chest was a black wolf with its bloody mouth wide open. It was so lifelike that it looked as if it could pounce at anyone at any time. This was the boss of the Hurricane Mountain stronghold, an expert at the peak of the Profound Immortal realm, only a step away from the Golden Immortal realm. With his powerful strength, he suppressed all who disobeyed him. In the entire Hurricane Mountain stronghold, he was famous for his savagery, killing without a word. "Fuck that Blackwind Mountain stronghold. After this batch of goods, the first thing we'll do is destroy them." Hei Lang fiercely bit off a mouthful of roasted meat. The Blackwind Mountain stronghold was one of their opponents. The two strongholds were evenly matched, and neither could destroy the other. This time, they had obtained a large amount of resources for the Hurricane Mountain stronghold. This was a chance to rise and destroy the Blackwind Mountain stronghold in one fell swoop. "After we destroy the Blackwind Mountain stronghold, our Hurricane Mountain stronghold will be the #1 stronghold." Cheers to the Hurricane Mountain stronghold. These people were all villains. When they heard that they would destroy the Blackwind Mountain stronghold and become the #1 stronghold, they all raised their bowls and drank with all their might. Boom! A giant metal door flew in from outside, smashing into a large group of immortals and sending dust flying. Shit! It must be the Blackwind Mountain stronghold. The group of people who had been drinking to their heart's content all stood up and rushed outside. Bang, bang, bang. As soon as they rushed out, a black shadow slammed into them and sent them flying. The scene was a mess, and only the 28 Profound Immortals continued drinking. Not bad, not bad. All the people of the Hurricane Mountain stronghold surrounded the man, but they didn't dare approach. Many of the 28 Profound Immortals were enraged. Within a radius of tens of millions of miles, their Hurricane Mountain stronghold was the #1 stronghold. Now, someone was saying that the Hurricane Mountain stronghold was not bad. Wasn't this a slap to their faces? Die! One of the one-eyed Profound Immortals waved his hand, and a large saber appeared in his hand. He swung the saber, and the saber aura whistled through the air, tearing the void apart and cracking the ground. It was an extremely vicious attack. This attack was meant to kill the cold and sinister man. Clang! The fierce saber attack of the Profound Immortal seemed to have hit a hard boulder. It didn't move at all, and it didn't hurt the opponent at all. Too weak. The snake demon shook his head and walked forward step by step, as if he wasn't interested in the attack. Heavens! How could he block the Sky Saber Immortal saber? This guy must have cultivated an extremely powerful body tempering technique to be able to block the Sky Saber Immortal saber. The Sky Immortals who were watching from the side screamed. The Sky Saber Immortal saber technique was overbearing, and he would kill anyone below the Sky Immortal level with a single slash. He was extremely domineering, but he had lost today. Whoosh, 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 all the Profound Immortals present stood up, as if they couldn't believe that a Profound Immortal could block the Sky Saber Immortal saber. His body tempering technique was unbelievably powerful, and all sorts of greed and desire followed. Kill! Kill him and take his body tempering technique! A dozen Profound Immortals attacked at the same time, and a violent aura enveloped the stronghold. No one believed that this person could survive. There had never been such a record. The snake demon's eyes were filled with disdain, and he opened his mouth and roared. Roar! The attacks of over 10 mysterious immortals instantly collapsed and ceased to exist, and it even blasted all of them flying. They all lost! Everyone was shocked. Black Wolf, the leader of the group, had a solemn expression as he looked at the other party. You're someone invited by the Black Wind Mountain stronghold. The snake demon flicked his fingernails. What Black Wind Mountain stronghold, not Black Wind? I'm here today because I'm interested in your stronghold. You're quite powerful, and you can be my little brother to fight for my master. Black Wolf's rage soared to the sky, and the surrounding decorations exploded, filling the sky with fragments. The Hurricane Mountain stronghold was single-handedly built by Black Wolf, and that was why it had such a scale today. Now, someone dared to come and steal his fruits of labor. It was unforgivable, and he even wanted to be his little brother. Boom! Black Wolf drew his saber, and his saber intent was sharp. He said sternly, "You want my stronghold? Kill me first if you have the guts, or I'll make you wish you were dead. Leader, kill him. Leader, take action and sweep everything away." Many sky immortals began to shout, and then their voices came to an abrupt stop. Their bodies exploded and they were shot to death. The scene immediately quieted down. "If you don't, I'll send you to hell," the snake demon said sinisterly. Leader Black Wolf's strength was at the level of a perfect profound immortal. Suppressing profound immortals was as easy as drinking water, and the saber in his hand was of the divine grade. Profound immortals relied on their bodies to resist. They would still die. Whoosh! Everyone saw a black shadow flash in front of them, filled with an unimaginably dangerous aura that exceeded their limits. Plop! Before they could react, they saw their leader, Black Wolf, bleeding profusely. He fell to the ground, his head separated from his body. Instant kill! Everyone exclaimed in their hearts. A perfect profound immortal was instantly killed in one move. It was too terrifying. The snake demon sat down and looked around. No one dared to respond, and they were all scared out of their wits. Killing their leader in one move, let alone them. Welcome, leader. Whoosh! The 28 profound immortals all knelt on the ground. They weren't seriously injured, and they made their choice wisely. They knew very well that if this person wanted to kill them, they wouldn't be able to escape death, not to mention standing here. This person was magnanimous and didn't kill them. Welcome, leader. The Sky Immortals all knelt down. Those trusted subordinates of Black Wolf didn't wait for them to react. Immediately, the Sky Immortals attacked and killed them. Their actions were extraordinarily fast. From today onwards, the Hurricane Mountain stronghold will be renamed to Demon Cave. Chapter 761. Heaven Realm, Northern Region. In the entire Northern Region, the Divine Sky Academy had the greatest influence. The Holy Heavens Academy was founded by the Holy Heavens Emperor, who moved unhindered in the Heaven Realm. It was a place that specialized in nurturing geniuses. It could be said that every disciple of the Holy Heavens Academy, without exception, was a dragon among men, a proud son of the heavens, and an absolute tyrant. Speaking of the Divine Sky Academy, one had to mention this Divine Sky Emperor. This Divine Sky Emperor was a tyrannical immortal emperor from 1,000,000 years ago. He claimed to be on equal footing with the heavenly Tao, thus gaining the name of Divine Sky. His battle prowess was unparalleled, and his name shook the world. The heavenly Tao was a supreme existence that dared to claim to be on the same level as the heavenly Tao, causing many immortal emperors to be dissatisfied. After the heavenly Saint Emperor ascended to the immortal Emperor realm, he called himself the Heavenly Saint Emperor and didn't give anyone time to prepare. He invited immortal emperors one after another and made a move that shook the heavens and the earth. Along the way, he was like a hot knife cutting through butter, crushing all the old immortal emperors one by one. 100,000 years later, the Divine Sky Emperor became a peak immortal emperor and established his supreme position. This was a miracle in the Heaven Realm. 300,000 years later, when the Divine Sky Emperor's battle prowess was at its peak, he founded the Divine Sky Academy. From then on, the Divine Sky Academy rose to fame. It was only after the Divine Sky Emperor's disappearance that the Divine Sky Academy was suppressed and finally settled in the northern region. Even so, the Divine Sky Academy still became a pure land in the heaven realm. Its foundation was terrifying, and no one could compare to it. Even the big sects didn't dare to look down on it. Many of the emperors and immortal monarchs of the heaven realm came from the Divine Sky Academy. With the passage of time, these people had long since become overlords of their own regions. They were existences who could stomp their feet with a stamp of their feet. Once they joined forces, they would be a terrifying force. The Divine Sky Academy was an invincible existence in the northern region. In the northern region, no matter which genius it was, they all hoped to become a disciple. Becoming an outer disciple would benefit the entire clan. Becoming an inner disciple would benefit the entire clan. Every time the Divine Sky Academy opened, countless geniuses would come from all directions. Their ultimate goal was to obtain the qualification to become a disciple of the Divine Sky Academy. Even so, the geniuses that came every time were the focus of the world. Everyone, come over and take a look. It's the latest walkthrough for the Elysium Academy. I guarantee that after reading it, the success rate will increase by 50%. Those who are passing by don't miss it. The Sage Heaven Strategy Guide is on sale now. It only costs 100,000 low-grade immortal stones, and you'll be able to increase your success rate immediately. Sacred Heaven Strategy, 200,000 low-grade immortal stones. Additionally, I'll give you the narration of the previous champion, 200,000 low-grade immortal stones. You won't be able to buy a divine-grade immortal equipment. 200,000 low-grade immortal stones. You won't be able to find a fairy. However, 200,000 low-grade immortal stones. You can become a disciple of the Sacred Heavens Academy. Don't hesitate. This is your only chance. Divine Sky City. This city was located in the outermost region of the Holy Heaven Academy. At this moment, all kinds of shouts of all shapes and sizes reverberated continuously. Those who did not know what was going on might even think that this was a market. It was truly unimaginable. Divine Sky City used to be a small village. More accurately speaking, it was a village with very few people. There were no more than 50 families. It was rumored that back then the Sacred Sky Emperor happened to pass by and opened his golden mouth. This place was a place that could suppress the fortune of the world. He immediately moved the mountains and moved the seas. In the end, the Holy Heaven Academy was established. As time passed, the small village at the foot of the mountain became a large city. Divine Sky City, relying on the Holy Heaven Academy, Divine Sky City became another pure land. At the same time, it was the only entrance to the Holy Heaven Academy. After millions of years, Divine Sky City had become a large city. No matter what happened outside, this place had always been peaceful. The suppression of the Holy Heaven Academy's fortune caused many geniuses to emerge in Divine Sky City and become disciples of the Holy Heaven Academy. The current Divine Sky City Lord was a core disciple of the Holy Heaven Academy and had great power. Damn, why do I feel like I'm going to the market? Lin Fei wore a black robe and a cloak as he rode the dragon horse. He appeared in Divine Sky City, which was known as the place closest to the Holy Heaven Academy. Fellow immortal, I see that you are a dragon among men. With a dragon horse that is 1 in 10,000, it will not be a problem for you to become an overlord in the future. I have a precious quote from the previous top disciple here. I will sell it to you at a loss of 300,000 lower celestial stones. While Lin Fei was digesting what he had seen in Divine Sky City, a middle-aged man ran over and said seriously, his lotus-blossoming tongue was able to trick people. I'm sorry, I've already bought it. Lin Fei shook his head. This was already the 3rd time he had been promoted since he entered the city. If he didn't know, he might really be cheated this time. The middle-aged man left unwillingly and turned to another young man to sell him a secret manual. On the way, Lin Fei had heard that Divine Sky City was the outpost of the Holy Heaven Academy and that he could get a lot of information here. At first, he didn't think much of it, but after he entered Divine Sky City, Lin Fei realized that those people were right. This was a holy land for gossip. Lin Fei didn't get off the WYRM horse. Instead, he rode on it and continued forward. "Hey, handsome, do you want to have a riot of colors?" "Handsome, come in and have a drink and rest." On both sides of the street, there were immortals selling their wares and luxuriously decorated immortal buildings. Apart from that, there were beautiful fairies leaning on the railings, waving their hands and expressing their lust. A world of flowers, wind, flower, snow, and rain. Lin Fei's eyes widened. Damn, isn't this the legendary brothel? Along the way, there were no less than 30 to 40 brothels on both sides. Lin Fei almost suspected that he had come to the mortal world. He had still come to Divine Sky City. But then again, the fairies in the brothels were all beautiful and devastatingly beautiful. It was inevitable that people would forget to leave, riding the dragon horse on the street. Lin Fei felt like he had returned to the world of flowers. He wasn't an immortal cultivator, but an ordinary person enjoying the beauty of the world. "Sir, would you like to eat or have a snack?" "A snack." Lin Fei found an inn and prepared to stay for the time being. The waiter said apologetically, "I'm sorry, immortal friend. We're full. Please look elsewhere." "Damn." Lin Fei continued looking. "I'm sorry, we are full. Go look for it somewhere else." "I'm sorry, we are full." Chapter 762. Lin Fei went to a few more places one after another, but the results were the same as before. All of them were full. After asking around, he found out that the Divine Sky Academy was recruiting disciples. Geniuses from all over had gathered in Divine Sky City, which was why there was such a shortage. Not only the geniuses from the North region had arrived, but the geniuses from other regions had also arrived. Of course, the North region had the most geniuses. North region. It sounded like the North region was a region in the heaven realm, but in reality it was boundless and had no end in sight. Geniuses from all walks of life gathered in the North region. Usually they would be considered geniuses in their own territories, but once they came out, they might not be geniuses anymore. These geniuses came from afar and had extraordinary backgrounds. Once they checked into an inn, they booked it and forbade outsiders from entering. Almost all the people who came to Divine Sky City later could not find a place to stay. After knowing this result, Lin Fei felt very depressed. A Holy Heaven Academy was simply too popular. If I really can't find a place to stay, I can only stay in the divine fire space at night. Lin Fei was an immortal, so he did not need to rest much. However, his previous habits made him used to resting. He did not want to change himself, and always wanted to leave behind something that would not change. The geniuses are fighting on the Divine Sky Square again. Everyone go and watch. In the middle of the street, someone suddenly shouted. In an instant, there was a huge reaction. Before Lin Fei could react, a large group of people rushed in one direction. Then more and more people rushed over like a tide. "I have nothing to do after eating." Although that was what he said, Lin Fei still stopped someone and asked about the situation. "Fellow immortal, I wonder why they're rushing over." The person stopped was a middle-aged man. His cultivation was not high, only at the heaven immortal realm. Seeing Lin Fei leading the dragon horse, his tone softened. The Divine Sky Academy is recruiting disciples, and geniuses from all over have gathered here. Often, some geniuses can't wait and want to fight, so they arranged a fight on the upper Divine Sky Arena. Lin Fei asked a few more questions and let him go. He gradually had a rough understanding of the situation. Since he could not find a place to stay for the time being, Lin Fei decided to go and take a look at this so-called genius disciple of the Heaven Realm and see how talented he was. Keeping the dragon horse, Lin Fei headed towards the Divine Sky Square. He had just asked around and found out that the Divine Sky Square was at the end of the street. The Divine Sky City did not allow fights, so the Divine Sky Arena was set up to allow people to fight fairly. "Little friend, please wait." As soon as Lin Fei walked towards the sacred Sky Square, he heard a strange voice. Calling my name? Lin Fei was quite surprised. He was unfamiliar with this place, so why would someone be looking for him? He didn't respond and continued walking forward. "Little friend, please wait. This poor monk greets you." Lin Fei's vision blurred, and a bald monk dressed in monk's robes appeared in front of him. Buddha's light shone brightly, and the monk put his hands together to block his path. "Who are you? I don't know you." Lin Fei secretly raised his guard. The bald monk blocked in front of him at lightning speed, and Lin Fei couldn't catch a trace of him. This person was definitely a golden immortal expert, or even higher. "Check this person." Lin Fei was on guard. He secretly opened the system to check. Unknown strength? Lin Fei was shocked. With his current ability, the system could confirm that this person was a sword immortal. However, after this check, the system gave 3 question marks. Clearly, this person's strength had surpassed the golden immortal level, or he had a deep foundation. "I am Wu Da from the Western Pure Land of Ultimate Bliss." Wu Da put his hands together again, his expression focused. "Damn, there are Western monks in the Heaven Realm." Lin Fei was shocked. Luckily, he held it in and didn't shout out, although he had been in the Heaven Realm for some time. Lin Fei still didn't know much about the Heaven Realm. In the beginning, he was chased by others, and later on, he was chased by others. When did he have the time to unravel the secrets of the Heaven Realm? Now that a monk from the Western Pure Land appeared, how could Lin Fei not be shocked? Furthermore, he didn't have a good impression of monks, and always felt that they were swindlers. So it's an eminent monk from the Western Pure Land. Lin Fei revealed a shocked expression. He wanted to probe the other party first. This monk Wu Da was listed as a dangerous existence by Lin Fei. This guy's strength was tyrannical, and a little bit of his strength was enough to move people. Benefactor is overpraising me. I can't be considered as an eminent monk. I only have some gains. Lin Fei felt that the other party was very good at acting, and said again, "Eminent monk is looking for me. Could it be that you have something to ask of me?" Wu Da looked up and down, and his heart was blooming with joy. He thought in his heart, "I didn't expect that I would meet a good seedling in the Holy Heaven Academy. If he is properly nurtured, his potential will definitely not be bad. This kind of good seedling cannot be taken away by the Holy Heaven Academy. Benefactor, this poor monk looks at you. You have a full forehead and natural spiritual bones. I know that you have outstanding talent, and you have a fierce dragon in your chest. You and I are fated, and you are fated with Buddha. Why don't you follow this old monk to the Western Pure Land of Ultimate Bliss and attain Arhat Buddhahood?" Phut! Lin Fei cursed in his heart. He finally understood why this guy looked for him. It turns out that he wanted him to become a monk. You are the one who wants to become a monk. Your whole family are monks. Lin Fei didn't have the mood to become a monk. Arhat Buddhahood and whatnot, he doesn't even want it, it's nothing. "Ah, I am fated with Buddha," Lin Fei said in shock once again. "That's right. If I didn't guess wrong, Benefactor has divinity in your body. You are the best candidate to cultivate Buddhist secret arts." Wu Da continued. Wu Da, as the guide of the Western world, roamed the heavenly realm and guided geniuses into the Western world. This was his mission. Every time the Holy Heaven Academy recruited genius disciples, Wu Da would make a trip to find beautiful disciples and help them become Buddha. Wu Da had already helped a few geniuses, and in the end, he saw Lin Fei, who contained divinity. He was surprised on the spot. A celestial immortal with divinity, if nurtured well, would become an expert. With Buddhism combined with the radiance of divinity, the Western world would have another Arhat. You even know this. Lin Fei said this on purpose. At the same time, he thought in his heart, I didn't expect that after I refined the God soul grass, my divine sense and body contained divinity. I didn't expect this person to see through it with a glance. Lin Fei didn't know much about the function of the radiance of divinity for the time being, but from the words of this monk, Lin Fei seemed to know that it was very useful. How to reject became a tangled problem. If the other party was a golden immortal, Lin Fei wouldn't need to worry at all. But the other party was an unfathomable guy. My Buddha is with me. There is nothing this poor monk doesn't know. Wu to put on the appearance of an expert. You and I are fated. Follow me to the Western paradise. Buddha's voice came. F***CK, this guy wants to tempt me. The monks of the Western world are really despicable. The moment the Buddha's voice came, Lin Fei knew that something was wrong. His primordial spirit was different from before. It was no longer an ordinary primordial spirit. He immediately reacted. If he was disgusted with the Western monks before, then from now on he would be blacklisted. Lin Fei could say with certainty that if he didn't have a mutated primordial spirit, he would have definitely been tempted and obediently become a glorious monk. Buddha is in my heart. I want to step into the Western world and obtain the position of Buddha. Lin Fei's eyes blurred as he muttered to himself. Wuda smiled. Facing the merciful arc of salvation, this move was unstoppable. It was a must-have technique for a guide. It could inject Supreme Buddha's voice and instantly purify people. A disciple with divinity, Wuda could almost see that he could leave his position as a guide and no longer have to travel the world. Although he could travel everywhere, Wuda really didn't want to do this kind of menial work anymore. In the Western world, this position was not high at all. You can leave with this poor monk to the Western paradise. My things are in the inn. I need to get them back. Please wait for a moment. Lin Fei looked sincere as he pointed at the inn behind him. Wuda waved his hand. Go ahead. This poor monk will wait for you here. Those who were under the merciful arc of salvation never had any accidents. Wu De was very relaxed and didn't worry about leaving. This wasn't the first time Wu De had done this. He was already used to it. As long as he could bring people back, it didn't matter if there was a slight delay. If not for the divine Sky City's formation, Wu De would have torn open the void and left with people long ago. He wouldn't have to go through so much trouble. The formation of the Divine Sky City was set up by the Divine Sky Academy. Wu De's reputation as a guide was not glorious, so he didn't dare to break the formation. If the people of the Divine Sky Academy knew that the guide was trying to purify geniuses to join the Western world, they would beat him up and throw him out of the Divine Sky City. Wu De didn't dare to act recklessly. Bring this disciple with divinity back, and this poor monk's mission is complete. From now on, I won't have to sleep in the wilderness and be looked down upon by others. I can cultivate in peace. Wu De happily thought to himself. The matter of being a guide would be given to whoever did it. He was finally able to extricate himself from it. Wu De waited outside just like that. Half an hour later, Wu De frowned. The divinity young man didn't come back. He turned and walked towards the inn behind. Waiter, where's that black-clothed young man? For some reason, Wu De felt uneasy, as if something bad was about to happen. That black-clothed young man? The waiter thought about it. That's right. He left from the back door. The waiter pointed at the back door not far away. Wu De's guide instantly felt like he was struck by lightning. His body shook, and an expression of disbelief appeared in his eyes. That young man broke through his merciful arc of salvation and was not controlled by the Buddhist voice. How can this be? Wu De was dizzy. This young man must have some treasure on him that blocked the merciful arc of salvation. That's why he wasn't charmed. The young man left. Wu De wasn't willing to give up. He chased through the back door. No matter what, he had to catch him. A moment later, Lin Fei appeared and gave the waiter 50,000 low-grade celestial stones. "This is for you." "Well done." Lin Fei turned around and walked out of the inn, heading in another direction. Chapter 763. In the bustling divine Sky City. I'm so pissed off. At this moment, Monk Wuda was just short of blowing his beard and glaring. What a divine young man. He had disappeared without a trace, just like that. People were coming and going on the endless street. The tide of people was surging. That young man with divinity was nowhere to be found. He had disappeared without a trace. I must find him. Even 10 geniuses may not be as talented as one young man with divinity. Wu De took a deep breath and swore to find him. He turned around and merged with the crowd, ready to continue his search. Western guide, how dare you use Buddha's voice to bewitch young talents? Do you really think this is the Western small world? A cold voice suddenly sounded in Wu De's ears, followed by an invisible divine sense pressure. Wu De's expression changed, but he quickly returned to normal. So it's the city lord of divine Sky City, Mujan, which eye of yours saw me. Get out of the divine Sky City now. The divine Sky City does not welcome the Western emissary. If you dare to appear in the city again, I will kill you with one palm. I think your Western heaven's small world's Buddhist lord will not dare to do anything. Before Wu De could finish his words, his body shook. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and his face turned pale. What a divine Sky City lord! I will remember your words. He turned around and left, disappearing from the streets and leaving divine Sky City. The people of the Western small world are getting more and more presumptuous. They keep extraditing geniuses. This young man is not bad. The voice muttered to himself and then disappeared. It disappeared. Pucci! Guide Wu De's pathetic figure appeared in a forest outside the divine Sky City. What a powerful divine Sky City lord! He injured me with just a few words. Monk Wu De sat down cross-legged. A lotus throne appeared and healed his wounds. That young man with divinity must not join Divine Sky Academy. I must find a way to get him out. Should I be safe now? Lin Fei did not know that the guide monk had been expelled from Divine Sky City. He was worried that the guide monk would catch up with him. The system identified that the monk was very powerful, so Lin Fei had to be careful. At this moment, Lin Fei appeared in a small alley. He could still hear the noise coming from outside. The monks of the Western world are indeed despicable and shameless. I have to be careful in the future. Lin Fei frowned. He seems to have noticed the divinity in my body, which is why he looks at me in a new light. If I don't want to be noticed, I'll have to deal with the divinity in my body. Lin Fei was very clear about his current situation. He was like a firefly in the dark night. No matter where he went, he would be discovered. There was nowhere to hide. If he wanted to remain unnoticed, he would have to seal the divine radiance on his body and not allow it to leak out. The divine radiance should have other uses. Otherwise, the envoy wouldn't care so much about it. Lin Fei wasn't stupid. I need to find a place to study it. Lin Fei firmly believed that the divine radiance was different. After coming out of the alley, Lin Fei did not dare to leave the city. He looked for an inn and finally bought a room at a high price. After entering the room, he set up a formation and told the waiter not to disturb him. Then he entered the divine flame space and began to study the divine radiance. Ever since he swallowed the God's spirit grass and combined it with the God's spirit grass, Lin Fei had a great opportunity and benefited a lot. The most important thing was the divine radiance on his body. He had not treated it properly before, but after hearing Wu De's words, Lin Fei came to a conclusion and could not help but take it seriously. If the envoy knew about this, he would be so angry that he would vomit 3 liters of blood. He had become the good guy for once. Let me think about it. Lin Fei sat down cross-legged. He was not in a hurry, and his mind was as calm as water. 1 cup of tea, 1 incense, stick of thyme, 2 hours. Lin Fei abruptly opened his eyes as a confident smile appeared on his face. I finally understand. Eternal divine fist, eternal instant. Lin Fei's long hair fluttered even though there was no wind. His entire aura changed as the divine radiance enveloped him. It was as if a god had descended. Time seemed to stop at this moment, including the divine flame space. The divine radiance was like a supreme pressure that was incomparably domineering. Lin Fei could clearly feel that after the divine radiance supported this fist technique, it was even more domineering and ferocious. It was as if every punch would be enveloped by the divine radiance and suppress everything. Everyone would have to crawl under this fist. Emperor's might. Divine might descends from the heavens. Lin Fei's aura changed again, from that of a god to that of a god emperor. He was no longer an emperor in the mortal world. Instead, he was a high and mighty god emperor who could see everything in the world. Emperor, divine emperor. The difference of one word was like the difference between heaven and earth. When I use the divine radiance to activate the emperor's might, my aura will rise to that of a god emperor. When I attack, I can use the divine emperor's might to suppress others and suppress their fighting strength. For example, a golden immortal's fighting strength will be reduced by about 30% under the suppression of my divine emperor's might. The stronger I am, the greater the suppression. Lin Fei squinted his eyes and smiled. He did not expect the divine radiance to have such benefits. When the divine radiance was used on the fist technique, it contained an irresistible divine might that was naturally restricted. From the beginning, Lin Fei felt that the divine radiance was extraordinary. Now, it seemed that the greatest benefit was not the change in the divine sense, but the divine radiance. After the divine radiance was used on the fist technique, it was naturally unparalleled and unstoppable. Lin Fei did not expect that the divine radiance would have such benefits. If I activate the divine emperor's might and use the first move of the eternal divine fist, I am afraid that even a golden immortal will be killed by me. Lin Fei calculated. This move will be my strongest move. As long as a golden immortal expert dares to attack, he will be killed directly. After the second transformation of the god-demon body, Lin Fei's defensive power had reached an abnormal level. Even if a golden immortal attacked, it would be extremely difficult to kill him. However, it was very difficult for Lin Fei to kill a golden immortal. Today, after Lin Fei comprehended the mystery of the divine radiance through Monk Wuda, he had one more trump card that could kill a golden immortal expert. My divine radiance has been integrated into my body. It is very difficult to seal it. Lin Fei checked the relevant memories. This divine radiance was a unique existence. It was very difficult to seal it. In that case, I might as well not hide it anymore. Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. I have inherited the Eternal Great Emperor's unique skill. I might as well act as the Great Emperor's successor and raise my status. The more I show that I have a great opportunity, the more I will be valued. Even if that monk comes again, he will be afraid and will not dare to act rashly. After comprehending the power of the divine radiance, Lin Fei finally felt relieved. Chapter 764. When a new ray of sunlight shone down, the sky was filled with multicolored light, signifying the arrival of a new day. The divine sky plaza once again attracted countless gazes. If there was one place that was the most lively, it would definitely be the divine sky arena. On the huge plaza, there was a huge black humanoid statue holding a golden spear. It towered into the clouds, its deep gaze piercing through the heavens. This person was the divine Sky Emperor, who stood among the immortal emperors back then. With his shocking talent, he swept through the immortal emperors and became famous. This statue was erected by someone later on, and it was worshipped day and night. Over the years, it would occasionally bestow blessings, causing a huge commotion every time. Anyone who came to the Divine Sky Plaza would subconsciously worship it. Far away from the statue was a huge arena that was extremely eye-catching. A formless energy sealed the entire arena, preventing any energy from leaking out and causing trouble that shouldn't have happened. Every time the Divine Sky Academy recruited students, geniuses would fight endlessly on the Divine Sky Arena. As a result, the Elysium Arena became a place of fame. Before they even entered the Elysium, their names had already spread out, which unknowingly boosted their momentum, allowing them to reach a certain level. When Lin Fei arrived at the Divine Sky Plaza, first they were attracted by the statue. What a powerful aura! Even if it's just a statue, it seems to have communicated with the Divine Sky Emperor, giving off a lively aura. Lin Fei stood not far away from the Divine Sky Emperor and frowned as he sized up the Divine Sky Emperor. An expert from the Thunder Sound Monastery is going up. A cry from the crowd attracted everyone's attention. Lin Fei retracted his gaze, no longer looking at the statue. He was indeed attracted by the words. Lin Fei stood far away and saw the Divine Sky Arena. At this moment, there were two young people standing on the arena. The one on the left held a monk's staff and had a big bald head. Buddhist chants were unceasing behind him, giving off a peaceful aura. It was as if he had formed a kingdom of his own, as if he didn't care about anything else. What a good Buddhist chant! This monk from the Thunder Sound Monastery has such a profound Buddhist dharma. His every action is filled with compassion, calming the hearts of others. On the other hand, the young man on the other side had a vicious aura that surged into the heavens. Evil spirits protected his body as they moved about, terrifying and astonishing. They were filled with an enormous killing intent. What a powerful aura! As expected of a genius of the northern region. Lin Fei took a look and knew that the two of them were very strong. One of them could use evil qi to protect himself, which showed that he was extraordinary. The other was a disciple of the Lane Temple. His dharma was like a kingdom, and he could not be invaded by anything. His heart was like still water, and he would not understand if he did not ask. Bald donkey, rumor has it that your Buddhist studies are extraordinary, and you always tell people to lay down their butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Today, if you have the ability, I will lay down my butcher's knife and become a Buddha. Otherwise, I will destroy you on the spot. Ha ha ha. This person was extremely arrogant. With a light stomp of his foot, the huge arena was filled with evil spirits. Ghostly wails and wolf howls could be heard. In an instant, the disciples of the Thunder Temple were surrounded. He's trying to turn the disciples of the Thunder Temple into demons. What a cruel method! This voice came from a young man beside Lin Fei. He was waving a folding fan in his hand, and on the fan there was a picture of a beautiful lady, coupled with his embroidered robes. He looked like a dragon among men. I don't think so. Lin Fei said, "This disciple of the Thunder Temple has never seen the other party in his eyes. I think the evil Tao is just an evil sect, and it will never amount to anything." The embroidered, robed young man turned around and smiled. "Celestial friend, why don't we make a bet? The loser will treat me to a drink. How about that?" From the moment the Thunder Temple disciples stepped onto the arena, Lin Fei thought that the other party would win, which was why he casually said that. All right. As the two of them spoke, the situation on the arena changed drastically. The evil Tao appeared, and dark clouds covered the sky. The Thunder Temple disciple roared, and Buddha's light shone. The winter snow melted, and the head of the evil Tao collapsed in an instant. The Buddha says that you are guilty. The Thunder Temple disciple stepped out, solemn and dignified, and Buddha's light filled the sky. As expected of a Thunder Temple disciple, just one Buddhist technique, lion's roar, and it broke the evil Tao. Why don't you take a look at what kind of place the Thunder Temple is? It is a pure land, and it is a piece of cake for it to subdue the evil Tao. The young man, who was surrounded by evil energy, struggled with all his might. The words of the Thunder Temple disciple were like magic, and he could not resist them. After a few breaths, he knelt on the ground and kowtowed. I am guilty. I am guilty. I want to atone for my sins. Bang! The young man slammed his palm on the top of his head, and his physical body exploded, along with his primordial spirit. Damn! This Thunder Temple disciple is really ruthless. He killed the other party without even attacking. The embroidered, robed young man spat, as if he did not like the Thunder Temple disciple. Celestial friend, I have lost. You can tell me which restaurant to go to. No need. It was just a joke. Why take it so seriously? Lin Fei shook his head. He was not interested in drinking, and he was here to make a name for himself. The embroidered robed young man was not happy. That won't do. A gentleman's word is as good as a whip. Once I say it, I will not change it. Are you worried about me? Lin Fei had only said those words casually earlier, but the other party had actually taken them seriously. This was truly a rare occurrence. Initially, Lin Fei wanted to reject the other party's offer, but seeing how persistent the other party was, he decided to change his mind. Let's head to a nearby tavern then. That's right. Life is like a dream. If there is wine today, let's get drunk today. Who knows what will happen tomorrow? We can drink and watch the show at the same time. Isn't that great? Su Feng waved his fan and laughed. The two went to a nearby restaurant and chose a table by the window. Immediately, a waiter brought them good wine, and the fragrance filled the air. Divine Sky City's wine is not bad. Su Feng took a sip. I am Su Feng, and people call me the Playboy. Lin Fei could not help but laugh. I am Lin Fei. Your name is not bad. Su Feng laughed. Recently, a person called Lin Fei made Purgatory sect lose a lot of face. You are really fated with him. Lin Fei laughed. I have heard of this person too. He is a very vicious guy. Purgatory sect is a dignified celestial sect, but they fell. This made us, who have the same name, tremble in fear. We are afraid that Purgatory sect will come and investigate. Damn, who does Purgatory sect think they are? They would not dare to investigate even if they were given 100 guts. Su Feng snorted. Celestial friend, don't worry. If Purgatory sect did not climb up to a certain someone, Lin Fei's heart moved. He understood something and pretended to be relieved. Celestial friend Su, could it be that you came to Divine Sky City to join Divine Sky Academy? Of course. Su Feng said proudly. Celestial friend Lin, do you know that Divine Sky Academy has many beauties? I have always liked beauties. Divine Sky Academy is famous for its beauties, so I specially came to join Divine Sky Academy. Lin Fei gave a thumbs up. Amazing. You flatter me, Su Feng said. However, the recruitment this time is not easy. Celestial friend, you should be mentally prepared. Didn't they say that with the Divine Heaven Order, one can reach the heavens in one step? Lin Fei asked casually. Not so. Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. I spent so much effort to get the Divine Heaven Order. I didn't do it for nothing, right? What do you mean? Su Feng said. In the past, with the Divine Heaven Order, one can enter the outer sect in one step. However, this year, Divine Sky Academy has gone crazy. They have to arrange a Grotto Heaven treasure hunt. After listening, Lin Fei understood. Perhaps it was because of Ying Wuhin's death. As for whether it was true or not, Lin Fei could only guess. Isn't it just a Grotto Heaven treasure hunt? There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with it, right? Su Feng looked up and down at Lin Fei. For a celestial immortal like you, it is indeed troublesome. I don't mind telling you. This year, many inheritors have appeared. Among them, there are quite a few inheritors of great emperors. All of them are ferocious. For example, the inheritor of the Slaughter Emperor, the inheritor of the Qing Emperor, etc. None of them are easy to deal with. Lin Fei was shocked. So many inheritors of great emperors? Could it be that the inheritors of great emperors are popular this year? He who knows. Su Feng curled his lips. However, these inheritors of great emperors are quite strong. Some are just trying to make a name for themselves. You should know that many celestial emperors have fallen in the heaven realm. There are also many who pretend to be the inheritors of great emperors. It is no longer rare, unless one day a shocking inheritor of great emperors appears. Otherwise, there is nothing to be surprised about. The two chatted as they drank. The more they talked, the happier they got. It was as if they regretted not meeting each other earlier. Su Feng was known as a playboy. In order to chase after the fairies, he came up with all kinds of tricks. However, every time Lin Fei came up with an idea, Su Feng would look at him in a new light. In terms of picking up girls, even 100 Su Fengs were not Lin Fei's match. There was a huge amount of information on the internet. It was not an exaggeration to say that it would last for 3 days and 3 nights. Young master! A tall servant walked up from downstairs and stood beside Su Feng. His sinister gaze constantly fell on Lin Fei. What is it? Su Feng was drinking happily and did not notice. The elder is looking for you. Please go back. The servant said carefully. A bunch of old things. Su Feng scolded. He turned to Lin Fei and said, Brother Lin, we are fated to meet today. You have enlightened me. If fate allows it, we will meet again in the future. Lin Fei had also gained a lot. He knew many secrets that no one knew. Me too. There are many inheritors of great emperors this time. It might be dangerous to participate. You have to think twice. Before leaving, Su Feng reminded him again. No matter how strong a celestial immortal was, he could only break through to Xian immortal. But this time, there was a golden immortal among the inheritors of great emperors. I understand. Lin Fei nodded. Su Feng turned and left. This Su Feng is not simple. He has a servant with a perfected Xian immortal aura. I wonder where he came from. Lin Fei frowned. He did not want to know where Su Feng came from. On the arena in the square, there were continuous battles between geniuses. Chapter 765. 10 days. 10 days passed in the blink of an eye for Lin Fei in the Divine Sky City. In these 10 days, Lin Fei didn't go up to the arena to spar with anyone. He chose to observe silently during the day and understand the unique skills of the various geniuses. He learned a lot. At night, he practiced the great god's light continuously so that he could control the great god's light at will. During this time, Lin Fei didn't meet Su Feng again. The Western monk that he was afraid of was nowhere to be seen either. He heaved a sigh of relief. On the morning of the 11th day, the sky was cloudless. Both the geniuses living in the Divine Sky City and outside the city all came to the Divine Sky Square. The arena on the sacred Sky Square had been dismantled. It was empty and filled with people. In these 10 days, geniuses kept coming to the Divine Sky City. People wondered how many people were going to participate in the Divine Sky Academy selection. Today, the primary selection began. Early in the morning, everyone gathered at the Divine Sky Square. When Lin Fei arrived, the square was filled with people. There were countless handsome men and beautiful women. It was dazzling. It turned into a beauty contest. An hour later, a few beams of golden light flew over, breaking through the air. Before they even landed, their terrifying auras blew past, and the originally noisy place became so quiet that even a pin drop could be heard. Welcome, elders. The elders of the Divine Sky City had already received them on the platform. They all looked fearful. This time, there were 3 elders, 2 men, and 1 woman. The men were handsome and the woman enchanting. It was hard to believe that they were elders of the Divine Sky Academy. How's the preparation? An elder glanced over and asked casually. His every word and action made the elders of the Divine Sky City feel great pressure. Elder Ming, everything is ready, the Divine Sky City elder said with his head lowered. Even though these three were just outer sect elders of the Divine Sky Academy, they couldn't compare to them in terms of status. One word from them could kill them. "Then let's begin," the young man called Elder said indifferently. The elder of the Divine Sky City heaved a sigh of relief. Facing an outer sect elder of the Divine Sky Academy, the pressure was too great. Just a gaze could kill someone. It was really too much for them. Everyone listen up. The Elysium Academy's disciple selection will begin today. The voice of the Divine Sky City elder reverberated above the Divine Sky Square, hurting everyone's eardrums. According to the rules, immortals with a blank divine heaven token can become outer sect disciples without the preliminaries. But this year, the school has changed the rules. Geniuses with a divine heaven token can skip the first step of the preliminaries and enter Divine Light City directly. No one present knew about this, but they all knew about it in advance. Fellow immortals with the heavenly order, please enter Holy Light City in advance. The three outer sect elders of the Divine Sky Academy took out their immortal tools and communicated with the Sacred Sky Emperor's statue. A dazzling door appeared on the square. With the heavenly order, you can enter Saint Light City. The Divine Sky City elder reminded. A commotion broke out in the crowd. "Haha, I'll go in first." A burly man with a huge axe on his back and a heavenly order in his hand rushed into the door, leaving behind countless envious voices. "Everyone, I'll go first." Handsome men and beautiful women quickly passed through the door and entered Divine Light City. There were dozens of people with the heavenly order in their hands. Lin, Fei blended in among them. When a heaven celestial like him entered Divine Light City with the heavenly order, it caused quite a commotion. "Damn, why does that kid have the heavenly order? Unfair, it's really unfair. I can kill that kid with one slap. What a pity, I should have known." Lin Fei's entry only caused a small commotion that didn't last for long. This year was different from the previous year. In the previous year, with the heavenly order, one could skip the steps and become a disciple of the Elysium Academy in one step. This year, they had to compete, and with the heavenly order, it was nothing more than a qualification. To the people present, their strength was not inferior to the other party, and they were qualified to compete. What was so great about entering Divine Light City? When Lin Fei appeared again, he was surrounded by celestial mist, white clouds, flying cranes, hundreds of flowers, and celestial music. With a casual breath, dense celestial spiritual energy entered his body, nourishing his internal organs and relaxing his mind. Lin Fei was secretly shocked. This Divine Light City was indeed a grotto heaven world. During the 10 days in Divine Light City, Lin Fei didn't stay idle. He asked about the selection, and after paying a certain amount of celestial stones, he had a comprehensive understanding of the selection. Divine Light City was a grotto heaven world, a place of its own. In layman's terms, Divine Light City was a spatial celestial artifact created by the Elysium Emperor back then. As for its grade, it had reached the Emperor grade, and its power was unimaginable. Being in Divine Light City, Lin Fei could feel the boundless life aura and the unreasonably dense celestial spiritual energy. He wanted to absorb as much as he could to strengthen himself. If he really did that, Lin Fei believed that he wouldn't have a good ending. Lin Fei walked along the main road towards Divine Light City. At this moment, he was just outside the city. This was also the only safe place in the grotto heaven world that wouldn't be invaded by anything. Dong, dong, dong! After a few steps, a huge figure like an ancient god with disheveled hair and an evil aura protecting its body appeared. With each step, the earth trembled. It was extremely terrifying. "What are you looking at? If you look again, I'll eat you first." This giant charged forward, and almost no one could stop it. Those who were hit by it either had their bodies destroyed or fell to the ground with serious injuries. It was hair-raising. Ancient mountain giant. The bystanders sucked in a breath of cold air. Wherever the archaic mountain giant passed by, the people would leave and the buildings would become empty. The ancient mountain was a forbidden area in the heaven realm. Demonic beasts were everywhere, and ancient ferocious beasts guarded the ancient mountain. Their strength was at the top of the world. Every time they made a move, the wind and clouds would tremble. The demonic beasts that came from the ancient mountain were all incomparably powerful. As a result, the ferocious name of the ancient mountain continued to spread, and everyone was afraid of it. The ancient mountain giant was a ferocious beast that lived in the ancient mountain. It had boundless divine strength and could easily collapse the mountains and overturn the seas. Due to its ferocious name, no one dared to provoke it. What a powerful life force! Lin Fei narrowed his eyes. Who else would be shocked? If I eat him, my strength will definitely soar. Long ago, Lin Fei heard that the Holy Heaven Academy didn't reject any genius. As long as one was a genius, they could become a disciple of the Holy Heaven Academy after passing the test. Due to this rule, the reputation of the Holy Heaven Academy had always been known outside. Lin Fei had only taken a few steps when a huge flying beast soared through the sky, blotting out the sun. With a flap of its wings, sand and pebbles were sent flying, tearing through the air. Countless human experts were sent flying, crashing into the holy light city walls, suffering unspeakably. This is a rock. Chapter 766. An archaic mountain giant already made everyone tremble in fear, and in the blink of an eye, a huge bird appeared, and it was even the infamous Great Pung. Everyone seemed to be able to see the intensity of this heavenly passage world's battle. It would definitely surpass the past and be unprecedented. As Lin Fei walked, he occasionally saw powerful beasts enter Holy Light City. Their terrifying auras whistled past, and countless people suffered. They dared to be angry, but they did not dare to say anything. Every single vicious beast was famous, and they were not inferior to the archaic mountain giant and the Great Pung from before. The difference in strength would be revealed here. Towards the end, many humanoid creatures appeared one after another. Every one of them was extremely ferocious. Just a look from them would make people's hair stand on end. Many geniuses had been killed by the beasts before they could even enter Holy Light City. It was a tragic sight to behold. Holy Light City was very big, much smaller than Divine Sky City. For people like them, the space was big enough. The human experts who were frightened finally heaved a sigh of relief after entering Holy Light City. They no longer had to worry about encountering beasts and being killed by them. Many geniuses with divine heaven decrees had died outside. Even though they were called geniuses, encountering geniuses who were even more terrifying than them, death was the best choice. They had passed the preliminaries and arrived at Holy Light City. They could rest for 3 days and wait for others to enter. At that time, they would fight for the right to enter Divine Sky Academy together. Scram! Holy Light City was the only safe place. There were formations inside, and people would at most be heavily injured, but they would definitely not die. At the center of the street on the bluestone paved road, a young man with shocking divine power smashed a ferocious beast away with his bare hands. Who is this guy? That's a creature from the archaic mountain, and he was sent flying just like that. That guy is the successor of the great emperor, Sun Shang. His divine power is shocking. Last time someone fought with him, he broke the immortal weapon and heavily injured his opponent. So he is the successor of the great emperor. No wonder he is so overbearing. That young man sent the creature flying with a wave of his hand. He patted the dust off his body and turned to leave. The moment Sun Shang, the inheritor of the great emperor, made his move, it made many people feel restraining fear. He was able to defeat even the creatures of the archaic mountain, so his strength was definitely incomparably tyrannical. It inevitably made them feel like there was a tall mountain above their heads. That creature from the primordial mountain also possesses astonishing divine strength, but it is inferior to the other party. To be able to be called the successor of the great emperor, its own strength cannot be weak. Lin Fei saw everything that happened. In the first batch of people that entered, apart from the incomparably powerful vicious beasts and humanoid creatures, the most powerful ones should be those who claim to be the great emperor's inheritors. None of them were simple and had a certain level of ability. Lin Fei's horizons were broadened. There were many races in the heaven realm, and they seemed to have inherited some unique factors. Every one of them was very powerful. There were many inns in Saintly Light City. Lin Fei randomly chose an inn. After all, he would have to wait for 3 days in Saintly Light City. Therefore, he chose an inn that was located in a calm location. "Waiter, give me a guest room for 3 days." Lin Fei walked into an inn and said to the waiter, 1,000,000 low-grade immortal stones for 3 days. "Thank you." The waiter greeted him with a smile. He was shocked for a moment, but then quickly returned to normal. 1,000,000 low-grade immortal stones for 3 days. The corner of Lin Fei's eyes twitched. Saintly Light City was even more fraudulent than the outside world. He prepared to take out the immortal stones and go upstairs to rest. "Waiter, give me a guest room." An earth-shaking roar came from behind. It was directed at the waiter. "Please wait a moment. Allow me to settle it for this fellow immortal." "I will do it for you immediately," the waiter replied. "A mere heaven immortal dares to come to Saintly Light City? Get out." The person behind was a man the size of a small mountain. He had a violent temper. Seeing that a mere heaven immortal stood in front of him, he did not say a word and slapped down with his palm. A strong wind whistled and cut through the void. "This little heaven immortal is going to be unlucky. I really don't know how this little heaven immortal came in. If it were me, I would rather sell the sacred heaven order than come here to die." Some people had gathered in the inn. Those who had already completed the formalities couldn't help but start discussing. A mere heaven immortal was too conspicuous. Boom! With this palm strike, everyone thought that the kid would fall to the ground with serious injuries and be thrown outside. He's fine. In the end, an unimaginable scene appeared. The powerful palm didn't have any effect. The other party didn't move at all. Too weak. Lin Fei turned his head. His eyes were cold, and in an instant he could see through everything. Thump, thump. The big man took 3 steps back, frightened by that look. His eyes were filled with fear, as if he had seen a horrifying existence. His huge body trembled slightly. I'm sorry. No one expected that the big man would lower his head and apologize when he should have attacked again. His huge palm slapped his face, and in the blink of an eye his face was swollen like a pig's. He kept saying, "I'm sorry." "Get lost." Lin Fei's words were like an emperor's pardon. The big man's mind shook. He turned to run, but in his panic he tripped and fell on his face. For a moment, everyone in the inn was shocked. Since when could a little heaven immortal scare away a profound immortal? The light of the great God is quite useful. Lin Fei was very satisfied. He turned his head. "I can go upstairs now." The waiter, who had been mocking him just now, was now very respectful. Okay, I'll take you upstairs." How could the waiter not be afraid to scare away a profound immortal? He himself was just a profound immortal. As the various beings and the Emperor's heirs entered Saint Light City, the quiet city became lively. Lin Fei didn't go out. He remained in the tavern in Holy Light City, absorbing more immortal spirit energy. He controlled the speed at which he did so, and yet it was still shocking. On the second day, many human contestants entered Saint Light City. This process continued. There were all kinds of conflicts on the streets. Luckily, people couldn't be killed in Saint Light City. On the third day, Lin Fei left the inn, preparing to relax. The competition would begin tomorrow, and there wouldn't be many opportunities for peace and contentment. Taking advantage of this opportunity, he might as well take a walk and relax. 3 days later, Saint Light City was much more lively than the first day. There were young elites everywhere. All of them were arrogant and high-spirited. They seemed certain that they would get good results in the upcoming competition and fight their way into Heavenly Academy to obtain a qualification. Immortal friend Lin Fei. Saint Light City wasn't small. Lin Fei was strolling around when he suddenly heard a voice behind him. So, it's immortal friend Su Feng. When Lin Fei turned around, he saw Su Feng, who he had drunk with the last time, walking in his direction with a few people. Su Feng's greeting surprised the friend beside him. Young Master Su, your taste has changed. Is a little heaven immortal worth befriending? Said a young man on the left. He was dressed in red, emitting a blazing aura. Most importantly, there was a strange divine rune on his forehead, making him look like a god. Chihua, watch your mouth. Su Feng turned around and said, Do you think a heaven immortal can fight his way here? Use your pig brain to think. Su Feng was very surprised to see Lin Fei here. Other than those with the heavenly decrees, outsiders would have to go through an intense competition and be prepared to die. Su Feng did not think that Lin Fei was able to appear here because of the Elysium Medallion. The Elysium Medallion came from the Elysium Academy, and the person it was given to was a dragon amongst men, not a heaven immortal. Clearly, Yi Jian was the latter. Su Feng walked up. I didn't expect you to come in too. Lin Fei chuckled. I was lucky to get in just like that. If the first time was because of drinking and chatting, then this time, Su Feng's impression of him had deepened. The strength of a heaven immortal was extraordinary, and this Lin Fei was one of them. Where are you going? Su Feng asked suddenly. Lin Fei laughed. I'm just taking a walk. I don't have a destination. Why don't we go to the square? Is there anything extraordinary? Yes, you'll know when you get there. Lin Fei didn't know what was going on inside Holy Light City. It was okay to go and have a look. You go with your friend. I'll go alone. Lin Fei had already noticed the hateful eyes from the other side. There was no need to be with them. I'll go with you. Su Feng understood the reason. Won't this ruin your relationship? Su Feng laughed. They are all young masters of aristocratic families. What they value is nothing more than strength and connections. There's nothing to ruin. After the two of them left, the expressions of the other 3 people changed. Then they returned to normal. As they said, they were good friends now. But once they entered the square, they might fight with each other for benefits. Humph, humph. I'd like to see what's so special about a little heaven immortal. Chihua sneered as he walked forward. The other 2 did not have such a bad temper. They all knew that Chihua looked down on ants. Thus, he had killed countless ants because he found them an eyesore. In a big square, what they saw was not a simple square, but many huge black steels. At first glance, they couldn't tell how many steels there were. What's this? When Lin Fei appeared at the edge of the square, he was shocked when he saw these steels, because these steels were exuding a vast and boundless aura. Let's go closer and have a look. Su Feng seemed to know about this. Lin Fei walked closer and looked at the nearest steel. There was a line of powerful words on the steel, as if many emperors were flying out. Amazing divine power, titled Divine Power King. These simple words were filled with a domineering aura. It was as if the other party was a god who wouldn't allow anyone to reject him. 1 in 10,000 archery skills, unparalleled in the world, titled Divine Archery King. Lin Fei looked at another steel. There was another line of words, just as domineering as before. Chapter 767. Stone Tablet Plaza. Hearing Su Feng's words, Lin Fei's heart skipped a beat. He blurted out, "This is the King Conferral Tablet that everyone is talking about. I thought you didn't know." After staying in the Divine Sky City for almost half a month, Lin Fei had a thorough understanding of the city. The most famous thing in the Divine Sky City was the King's Stone Tablet, which was extremely mysterious. As for where it was, he wasn't sure. Lin Fei didn't expect it to be in Divine Light City. The 2 words king had a special meaning, and it was placed in the plaza. Actually, I really didn't know it was here, Lin Fei said seriously. Su Feng looked at the King Bestowment Stone Tablet and said, respectfully, "This stone tablet was personally refined by the Heavenly Saint Emperor. It's an Emperor-grade immortal artifact that possesses supreme divine might. The kings on these king bestowment stone tablets were actually conferred by the Heavenly Saint Emperor. They are extremely noble, at least within the Heavenly Saint Academy." Isn't he dead? He can still be conferred a title? Humph, ignorant is ignorant. Suddenly, a cold laugh rang out. It turned out that Su Feng's 3 friends had arrived, and the one who spoke was the Scarlet Flame Immortal. The Sacred Heavens Emperor has a supreme divine ability, and Sacred Light City contains the will of the Sacred Heavens Emperor. Even if I say so much, you wouldn't understand. Su Feng frowned and was unhappy. Lin Fei, you only need to know that this stone tablet communicates with the Divine Sky Emperor. As long as you break the limit in Divine Light City, you will have a chance to be conferred a title. The Divine Sky Emperor will reward you with special items. Your name will spread throughout the Divine Sky Academy, and you will have special privileges in the future. This time, all the geniuses have come for the chance to be conferred a title, even if the chance is 1 in 10,000. There's such a good thing. Lin Fei was surprised. This seemed to be a good thing. The Divine Sky Emperor's treasure should be extraordinary. You're just a puny, celestial immortal. Don't even think about it. The chance to be conferred kingship only comes once every few hundred years. Countless geniuses have tried to be conferred kingship, only to return empty-handed. Scarlet Flame seemed to be intentionally provoking him. Although Lin Fei didn't know why this red-haired guy kept targeting him, he already had a goal in mind, and it wasn't in his character to swallow his anger. Who are you? Everyone has the chance to be bestowed the title of king. Could it be that you are the Saint Sky Emperor? You can control everything? Lin Fei raised the corner of his mouth and sharply retorted. Whoosh! Chihu took a step forward and a scorching aura surged out like rolling waves. Do you believe that this young master will kill an ant like you with one palm? Chihua, you're really something. How dare you attack my friend? Su Feng said in a low voice. Young Master Su, why do you have to hurt our friendship for a little heaven immortal? Asked a young man on the left of Crimson Flame with a frown. Su Feng's performance was unexpected. Su Feng, you dare to say such words to me for an ant? Chihua said coldly, do you think that a heaven immortal can enter the Heavenly Academy? This young master can guarantee that once he leaves Heavenly Light City, this ant will die for sure. Any living creature or beast can kill him. Can you protect him forever? Su Feng was silent. Su Feng had a good impression of Lin Fei. People in his position would only make friends with benefits. They couldn't be considered as true friends. Perhaps Lin Fei was one of them. Ha ha ha. Lin Fei laughed and pointed at Chihua. You mother of asterisk her, calling me an ant every time you open your mouth. In my eyes, you are an ant. Try to kill me if you can. If you don't have the ability, then scram. Stop embarrassing yourself like a clown. You give people goosebumps. Lin Fei had a bad temper. He couldn't stand this kind of person. He scolded him. Chi's face darkened. A storm was coming. Flames burst out of his body. Young Master Su, a little heaven immortal, offended the dignity of a golden immortal. Do you want to help him? The dignity of an expert couldn't be blasphemed. Even a little heaven immortal would be killed in the eyes of an expert. Moreover, Chihua's temper wasn't small. How could he tolerate this? Su Feng hadn't expected that things would turn out this way. Stop him? Not stop him. Give me some face and let this matter go. How about it? Su Feng thought about it and said to Chihua, I owe you a favor. Everyone was shocked when they heard this. Lin Fei was also surprised. No matter what Su Feng thought, he felt warmth in his heart. It seemed that not all young masters of aristocratic families acted like emperors. A favor. Chihua was well aware of Su Feng's personality. There was nothing special about this little heavenly immortal, and yet, in order to stop him from making a move, he said such words. I really wonder if your eyes are deceiving you. Is it really worth it for a little heavenly immortal? Brother Sue, you don't need to interfere. I am not a coward. So what if he's a golden immortal? Lin Fei refused politely. He turned to Chi Hua. I am right here. Try and see if I am afraid. Take a step back. A golden immortal. At worst, both sides would be injured. There was nothing to worry about. Lin Fei wasn't worried. See that? This little heaven immortal doesn't need your help. Chi Hua sneered. He stared at Lin Fei with a ferocious gaze. You have guts. You are smart. This is Saint Light City. I can't kill you. You have a good plan. Unfortunately, you forgot one thing. I hate ants the most. So, I have decided that once I leave Saint Light City, you will be the first to die. You will become fertilizer for Saint Light City. Ha ha ha. When a golden immortal said that anyone would have to be wary, Lin Fei wasn't an ordinary person, even if the other party was a golden immortal. That depends on whether you have the ability. Chi Hua, the successor of the Inferno Emperor. Rumor has it that he is extremely domineering and kills at every turn. It seems like it is true. Come out sneakily. Chi Hua's eyes flashed as he said viciously. The violent energy waves calmed down instantly. A bald head appeared in front of everyone. Thunder Sound Temple's monk? You smelly monks want to poke your nose into other people's business. Chi Hua was wary. Thunder Sound Temple was a pure land in the western small world. For them to say something like that was suspicious. You are Thunder Sound Temple's monk Huineng? Su Feng's tone was solemn. Huineng is my name. I didn't expect you to remember it. Huineng's expression was solemn. How can we not know the name of Thunder Sound Temples, Huineng? Su Feng said. You have cultivated one of the 36 ultimate techniques of Thunder Sound Temple. Thousand Hands Guanyin. Huineng was neither happy nor sad. I'll protect this person, Huineng said.